Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Wednesday, so you already know what it is. WestWorld Wednesday. It's time to get back into it. It has been a long trip. It hasn't exactly been week by week. We've had some things get in the way, but we are here to finish up and wrap up the season. And she's going to wrap it up with me. Of course, we got the realest host, Phantom Disdain. What's good with you tonight?
Man, fuck these campers. Fuck the host man in black.
I'm not even going to lie. That is so
Coming
me when
out
it
the
comes
gate
to shooting up.
swinging.
Oh, that is me. I am camper number one. Let me just sit in the corner and take everybody out. Oh, I'm the worst. I love it. That's my favorite thing to do. How about you, AK? What's good with you today?
Man, I'm here. I'm putting aside the bodily pains and having fun with my homies. And yeah, like the one camper that we did see, he had the right idea. He just didn't play that part long enough.
Yeah,
Like, who goes and checks on the vehicles in the middle of the day? Bruh, you wait till nighttime after you done shooting. What you doing?
or at least don't let everybody who's still alive let them know. Like you're gonna sit there and honk the horn and then
The damn beep. Bruh,
man.
you just alerted the whole next 2 blocks in a
Oh,
circular radius. And then
but
he's walking around with his gun at his side, still on his back. Bro,
not
you not
smart.
built for this life. You clearly not built for this life.
Oh, that was the worst. I was like, how are you gonna honk and walk right to it? Just let them
Son,
all know.
I had hope. I had hope for him when he was on the roof, had his little get in and get out the building, small, tiny spot nobody could really find. I was like, okay, he's doing well. And then he went outside. Never go outside, y'all.
That was amazing. Oh, we're gonna get into it. WestWorld Season 4, Episode 7. This one's called Metanoia, and that means change in one's way of life resulting from patience or spiritual conversion. And Bernard and Hale head to where this season started, like in the dam where the Sublime is hidden, and only we find out they're not really there. This is Bernard still inside, making his way through scenarios on how to best save the world. Like, how confused did this season have you up to this point, Phantom?
At this point, everything's a damn simulation from season 1, episode 1 up until now. And I won't be surprised by the end of season 5. This is all just a simulation trying to save humanity from the jump start.
It's all a simulation. Called that way back in like season 2, I think. Everything's a simulation.
Facts.
Oh, that's amazing. Is this still the same park that WestWorld is in, or did they ever leave, AK?
No, I do believe Bernard said it was a different park that they were in. He said the place where they were at is very similar to Westworld, and I forget. I think he was talking to Maeve, or no, because Maeve already knew he was in Westworld. I don't remember who he was talking to, but basically he said, "No, I know a lot about this part because this is like a replica of Westworld, and I used to work there." That was the gist of the conversation.
And
so
do you think
it's a different spot.
you think it's completely different? Because we know Westworld had like 5 different parks just inside of Westworld. So like Westworld was only one of 5 parks.
Yeah, I think it's completely away from those parks.
What do you think about that, Phantom?
That are we in the Westwood or no?
Do you think we're in Westworld, or are we in a different state, different country? Like, is this just Westworld in a different part of the park, or what do you think it is?
No, I still think we're just in a different park.
Like in a whole different country type thing?
Not a different country. I don't think there was ever like that though. Because wasn't it
'cause
always
they
like in
were-
Singapore or something when they what was it in previous season when they were trying to get to Westworld?
Mhm.
So I think it's still in that same
it was
place.
Westworld.
Yeah.
That's not the same place. Like the whole surrounding of it is different. And Bernard said that it was a completely different park. I think Westworld has been gone because we're way in the future. Westworld has been down for ages. I don't think they ever started it back up. They just built something new.
I think they built over it. I think that thing Ford was building was the tower, and that's what Charlotte ended up finishing and making her own little city. I think that dam
In season 1?
that was built was basically what Ford was building, so they'd have a place to be safe.
Maybe. It's like Imagination Realm. He just said too, same country, just a different park. Oh, because I believe that was the Grand Canyon that we were showing there. So they're still around here, I guess. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what Ford had all those hosts building was that big dam to have a place for them to safe and go to. So yeah, I don't think they ever left. What's up, Imagination Realm? Thanks for being here. Celebrity Bikini in the house. What's good? What's good? Oh yeah, I don't think they ever left. I think it's all just one big loop. They're going through the 5 different parks that are in the one area, and they think it's different, and they're on all these different wild excursions. But I think they never left. I think that's why they keep talking about loops and going back and around. And I think they're just in the same park going around again. But maybe we'll find out. They have to open it up and let us know next year because season 5 is supposed to be the end of it, so they got to wrap it up.
Do we have a confirmation on season 5 yet?
I believe so. I thought I just read that HBO did commit to the season 5 because when they first started this, they said it was a 5-season. They said it was a 5-season series,
but they haven't.
But they have a new owner now. They have a new owner now who's been chopping scripted shows left and right.
Yeah, but WestWorld's such a big one. It's so expensive, but I don't know. They talked to Ed Harris, and Ed Harris was on an interview talking about season 5 and what they're going to wrap up and what they're going to do. So. I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the way how if it does get canceled, like the way how it ended, like I want to be.
Yeah, it's still a decent. It's still a decent ending. It's a bit lackluster from what I expected, but we got one more game left, is what they say. So it would be cool. It'd be okay if they cut it off here, but I do hope that they come with season 5 so we can properly wrap it up.
Yeah, I need some more answers. They didn't answer enough for me. I need them to come back.
Still too many questions.
And like I said,
about it. All the main cast is like dead. In essence, it's like no one's left.
Absolutely.
Well, they've kind of passed the torch though, so
yeah.
See something
to Frankie. Other than that, it's like that's it.
And Frankie and whatever other humans are left.
One of the makers hinted, but they didn't announce it yet. They gave it an ending, like it could be a series finale.
Yeah.
But I don't like this. Yeah, and it does seem like, basically every single season has been interactive of its own. Like they've all been independent. Like each season could be its own thing. So they could wrap it up here, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to give us a season 5. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe HBO hasn't confirmed it. Maybe it was just an Ed Harris kind of confirming it thing. But
yeah, HBO hasn't confirmed yet.
I don't think he would come in and lie if he didn't have an inside track on the fact that it was going to. And the way he was talking, it sounds like, because he said they're going to start filming next April or May.
That would make sense. Their track record, and then we'll get it like on their track record. They would start filming in 2023, and then we'll probably get it within 2024. So hopefully within 2023 we get something.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they keep moving forward.
But yeah, the thing I read said they're going to start filming next April or May. So I would say that it's going to happen, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, the last episode was the worst of the season. I agree wholeheartedly.
Facts.
I'm always like that, though. I mean, people already they just never stick a finale for me. I'm never happy with finales, but this one was not. This was definitely.
I was surprised we didn't get like an after credit scene like we did preview.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was left?
Like some type of thing to show what exactly this last final game is gonna be.
I thought the Man in Black was gonna like. I thought the Man in Black was gonna like wake up and he's like, "I'm still alive, bitch."
Oh, not today!
Not today, bro. Nah, he got the Arya Stark treatment. Not today. He was talking too much. He called himself monologuing.
Yeah. So if they never left, it would mean. Which means if they never left, then this was the massive project that Ford was building. Like I said, I think a place large and powerful enough to hide the host with enough RAM to generate any and all worlds that they want to build for themselves. Like they live the eternity, and it's basically the host multiverse going on. So I think that
kind of, yeah. Like Bernard and Maeve are technically still alive in there. If you remember, Bernard said that they're both in the Sublime. They're just copies.
Well, by the end of it, I think we find out everybody's in it. I think that's exactly what it was, a simulation, especially large parts of episode 7 and 8 were definitely going on in the Sublime. They made it look like it was real time, but then they showed us something else in a different way. I was like, well, obviously that was just Bernard still walking through scenarios.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what point in the timeline is it if they say that they're in the Sublime? Because aren't they should be like simulations, really?
Mm-hmm.
See, you would think, but I mean that's the thing that keeps you guessing and keeps us asking questions and wanting more.
Because Maeve was like, upload me into the Sublime so I can be with my daughter. If you're already in the Sublime, why would you say that?
Well, exactly. That's what he think. You got to remember, he kept not knowing if it was her responses or what he thought her responses would be.
Exactly.
He even asked her that. So that's why you never really know what's real and what's going down inside the simulations.
Yeah.
If he already knows the end result is doomed, why is Bernard so intent on staying and fighting? Like, that seems like a human response, fighting against all odds. Like, that's called hope, a human trait, not a host. So does this mean that Bernard's made it to the middle of the maze and is now basically human, fandom?
I would say that he is. Like, it's all Bernard is pretty much Arnold, and that was pretty much Arnold from the jump. Hope for humanity.
A reflection of himself that had hope for the host of becoming. Absolutely. I like that. Bernard seemed pretty chill when that death tech bot came crashing through the wall. Is that because he already got what he came for, Maeve's answer? Or was that just because they were in the still inside the simulation and it wasn't real?
Simulation.
Because he was just sitting there sipping on drinks. He didn't even care that thing showed up.
Right. He was like, perhaps a drink, but then that simulation, something happened. Like after they showed it, seemed like they were going to get out of that, but something happened and we got the rewind, and then we were back at that same spot again, and he skipped the drinks that time.
Yeah, because Maeve said, "Are you sure this is a good time for a drink? Like, you want to drink now? Like, maybe wait till after." So he's like, "Okay, maybe I shouldn't do this." So he's not
okay.
a drinker.
May I point out, y'all? Sir DJ has been giving Maeve all of the shits for drinking this whole season. And now here's the one time where it would be the worst time to drink. And who's the one that says, put the bottle down? It's Maeve. I just wanted to point that out.
100%. She's only not drinking because they're in a simulation. If this was real life, she'd be like, hand me the bottle. And I'd be like, why? Absolutely. Oh, the season was 30 years from season 3. What Caleb
I do believe so, yeah.
What Caleb does was about 7 years after season 3. Okay.
Yeah, because Frankie's like in her late 20s now, isn't it? Isn't she?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, from the size of it. So yeah, that definitely, when you start putting all those little clues together, you can figure out how late this is. And we already know what number he is, like 279. So there's been a few him. But he was already questioning whether those, like I said, were those her real answers or just what he thought she would answer. So did he really learn, or other than maybe he just needs to trust others more? Like, I mean, that just seems to be one of the things he came through. He can't do it all himself. He's going to have to rely on others. Even she said that for as much faith as you want us to have in you, you have a starkingly lack of faith in the rest of us. So I think that's what he kind of learned, is he's going to have to trust others. As he talks to Akacheta, he realizes to save the humans, he must die. But he keeps saying he sees a path. Will said path at least let him live out eternity in the Sublime, AK?
I don't know. That's hard to call because, when we saw him go through the door, there was just that light, and we didn't get to see if he actually saw his kid who had come through the door before him. So that's a hard gamble. I'm hoping that that's what it is. He sees all these pathways, every one of them, no matter how careful he is or what have you, to get to the one time where things could work out for the best, he still has to die. And I'm pretty sure so does Maeve. So what does that mean for them in the Sublime? Are they going to feel any aftershocks of that? I mean, are they truly actually safe? I don't know. I feel like this isn't going to be the last time we see them, though.
No, for sure not. You can't. I mean, they went Rogue One on it and killed everybody. Like, you can't.
Facts.
They just can't.
Shout out to my boy Johnny joining us in the chat.
Oh, Johnny Pat? Ghost, my man. What's good? Good to see you, brother. Hey, he said the type of dude to ask God the meaning of life.
Yep.
Well, I got questions. I want some answers.
If I'm lucky enough to make it, let me be there at that moment with some popcorn, please.
Oh, man, for real.
Because I already know you are going to give whoever is sitting there the run for their money, and I'm going to love every bit of it.
Absolutely. What's up, Johnny? Did you end up watching WestWorld? Have you seen it all? Are you up to date? Did you see the finale and the whole season? If so, you might want to jump in and give some of your points of view. Let us know.
Yeah, come through, bro.
Dolores has multiple versions of herself. Why doesn't Bernard just upload his subconscious into the Sublime and let Bernard 2.0 fight it out here for the humans?
Isn't that what he's doing, though?
Is he? Because it seems like he's just ready to die. All his outcomes have him dying, and if he's dying, I mean, he can't die in the Sublime. So, is that what he's doing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He said when Maeve and him were talking, he said that they're both in the Sublime right now.
That one was because that was still him running scenarios. But I'm saying, why doesn't he just live there in the Sublime and let this body be out here fighting for humans?
Honestly, why even put yourself in the fight at all? That was my question. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, y'all are safe in the Sublime. Like, nobody can get there without someone opening the door, and he essentially is the one that's about to that did open the door. But no, they were completely safe. They couldn't break what's her name? Hale couldn't break that code, and I don't think she was ever going to be able to break it, no matter what she did. So I don't know. That's the thing with Bernard. He may be a host like the rest of them, but he's that one host that was built different, for whatever Ford's long con master plan was. He knew it had to be Bernard to become the, digital Neo / Jesus figure in this story. The one robot to help rule them all, if you will. So I don't know. It's hard to say.
Oh, Imagination Realm says, just out here dying. I'm upset with Bernard. I don't think he stayed in the Sublime in the end. Yeah, I don't think so either.
That may have been him that came out, and he felt that sacrifice would be worth it to give all the other hosts a chance. Which, I mean, if we take into account Bernard's personality throughout this whole run, yeah, that is absolutely something he would do. It really is, because he was already alone. When we started, there were no kids anymore. The wife was gone. So to help other people be with their families and keep them connected, yeah, he would absolutely pull a sacrifice play, as long as the overall outcome was these bitter folks I could save could be happy, which is very commendable. But again, why would you put yourself in that danger for some fuck ass humans?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I don't think I would.
That's just his programming, the way he was brought through. That's what Ford did to him, I guess. It was cool that they showed us from Bernard's perspective, him doing it in the Sublime, then running it in real time in the real world. It was confusing, but I like that going back and forth.
So you think that really wasn't him? That in reality was Ford or someone else telling him to do it?
I think he was. I just think most of what we saw was him running simulations, him inside the Sublime figuring it out.
I think, yeah, I'll agree with you to a point on that. Yeah, there's definitely a portion of this that were just simulations, but
100%.
he's not just an AI that's programmed. He's an AI that can learn and grow emotionally, and I mean, not physically, but emotionally and intellectually. He can get to the point to where he's sentient and essentially like Data in the Star Trek The Next Generation series. I don't think he's just a regular random host. Team Human, fuck that. When the Klingons invade, if they ever invade, I'm helping them. Fuck that. Take me to Kronos. I'm ready to go.
Oh no, Team Human all the way. I'm with you, Jake. Absolutely. I'm not going with refrigerators. Maeve's usually so great at reading people. It was quite obvious that Bernard was lying about promising to send her back into the Sublime when this is over. How did she
caught that?
Did she?
I think she caught that, but she just wanted to go along with it because it's Maeve. What else am I going to do? She's there for a reason. Yo, let's go and do this shit because that is Maeve's way of looking at things. This needs to be done for the ultimate chance of her and her daughter and everyone else being safe. Then yeah, let's go ahead, finish this, and then load me back up to the Sublime, and I'm good.
And that's what Bernard had to figure out. He's like, I got to tell you something. I was afraid you wouldn't, keep fighting with me, but I got to be honest with you. And he broke it down, and she kept fighting, showing him that he really does need to do and have faith in others. And the way that we
think that was, that was the key thing, is he had to find the right time to say that. Because if he would have said that earlier in the whole exchange while we were starting to gear up, there's a very big chance that she would have said no.
Right.
That's why he said it later on instead of in the beginning.
Yeah, that's why he waited.
And yeah, exactly. And I mean, the whole thing wasn't simulations. They were showing us real time, but a lot of it was simulations. That's like why one of them we saw Tessa Thompson throw down when she was reading that message that he left. And that's another one we got who he left the message for. but we saw her read that message and then slam the thing down and break it. Then all of a sudden later, we see her reading more of it, hearing more of the message, and she was able to follow up with his plan, because when she grabbed it and just slammed it, that was just another simulation he was running. It was like, okay, she might just do this, see my thing, and get mad and break it, not even hear the rest of it. So that's how we know that they were definitely running simulations, and this wasn't all in real time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was loving how they were going back and forth. It was pretty dope. Oh, Date is a good comparison.
Yeah, definitely.
Felt like there was so much build up through it, that season building. Yeah, especially with the main story.
Yeah. I was so mad. Like, I figured we were in the scenario where like 90% of the team was gonna catch one. But why Maeve? Maeve and the surrogate daughter both caught it. Like, for fuck's sake, we just got her back. We literally just got her back.
Right? Oh, as soon as my microwave has babies, it's getting booted. I love it. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, overdo it. Just John in the house. What's good? It's been way too long. What's good,
Hold on. Look at this fucking spiffy-haired, spiffy-faced motherfucker.
I think that I'm spiffy.
Who is this old clean-cut man sitting here right now? What?
Looking like $1 million. Looking like $1 million. What's
good? I wish I came in with me denim jacket, man. But it's winter here. It's winter, and I have heating on in the house, man. It's like, what's good, y'all? What's good? Look at this spiffy.
It's so good to see your face. It really is.
It's all hard.
Random sappy moment, DJ. I apologize in advance, but I hurt you, John boy.
Never.
Yo, we got to talk. I got some things coming up. We got to talk this weekend, yo.
It's done. And as DJ says as well, it's all love. Like DJ lives off that energy. I seen DJ introduce these shows, man, and then people have echoes in the back. Yeah, before I came in, I was listening to y'all on my phone. I muted that shit, and I muted my shit on the computer. Yeah, y'all want to learn from this. Yeah, I seen DJ give the best intros on WestWorld, House of the Dragon, and he be all in that, and then you and fucking BBM, aka Davey, yeah.
Hold on, sir.
You broke his heart. You broke his heart
on me. Do you know he is as guilty as we are? Now you're not gonna come on here with the bullshit this early, sir.
Oh, is he?
You know I'm gonna call you on the nonsense. Look, DJ literally has done it more than me and fandom combined.
Is that true, DJ? Right now. Sorry. AK is a part of the fam. We're all part of the fam.
You see that smile on his face? I said nothing but the 100% truth right there. Cut it out.
Oh man, it is so good. The fam is back in action. The whole crew.
Sorry. Yeah, random sibling antics, y'all. My bad. I'll shut up now.
Oh, just a quick catch
up. WestWorld. We're on WestWorld, brother. Come on.
How are you feeling about WestWorld as a whole as season 4? How do you like it compared to the other seasons so far, John?
It's non-consequential. Anybody who dies is like reborn or rebooted. Rebooted. That's reboot. That's horrible. It's rebooted. So like there's no consequence. Like it feels like Disney in a sense, where it's like, oh, you can die. You know, we had Jesse Pinkman, aka Breaking Bad, Aaron Paul. I was like, you're the last human for us. No, you're not. You're dead. We had Maeve. Yeah, Maeve went out and she got killed, but everybody else got rebooted but her. What the fuck out of here? Like it's like Maeve. Like I bounced off WestWorld from season 2. I was like, from season 1, season 2, great. But the ending, I compared to The Matrix. Do you remember the first Matrix? You were like, this is awesome. This is different. The second Matrix movie, you know that white cunt with the Gandalf beard who's not Gandalf, and he's sitting in the room. This is an anomaly, the anomaly of the digital interplus. And it's like all these words that you understand, but the way he's putting them in context, it's like nobody speaks like this. That's what WestWorld did. And it didn't stop. It just carried on with that bullshit. So
that's the beauty of dealing with hosts. You got robots, you just bring them back. There is no death.
Yeah. Oh, you die, you got rebooted. Like so, I was like, yeah. So I'm not a fan. I'm here for y'all, but it's like not a fan. If you want an outside, absolute ignorant point of view, there's no consequence in WestWorld. So it's like, why do I care? Like,
I think it's more trying to figure out the puzzle of what it is. Like, is it all a simulation? Is it going on in the park? Did they ever leave the park? Is it any part of this reality? Are they out in the real world? Like, what's really going on? And trying to figure that out is where I have fun. I don't think they ever left the park. In my mind, like I've been calling it since season 1, I think this is all happening in the park. I don't think they ever left. I think they're all in the same loops. They're all going round and round. Humanity may have even died off, but they have these robots that were tried to made to be sentient, and so they're still in the park going on their loops. Just run. Humanity's gone, and they're still hundreds of years later, just still running. Like basically robots running each other. And now we've got it to where it's not just in the park. Part of it's going on in a simulation, and it's all happening in computer. I think this might all be happening in a blue-eyed giant. This might be Macumba.
Oh my god!
Oh, for fuck's sake! Here, you know what? Yo, what did I say? What
with him, he's crazy. He's the craziest motherfucking terrorist ever.
Thrones bleeds into everything. But
Absolutely.
also on that,
DJ's not a tinfoil wearer. He made the tinfoil, man. He fucking
I was about
made.
to say, what you mean he not a tinfoil wearer? He lives in tinfoil.
No, he made it. No, he constructed tinfoil. He made what tinfoil is. It's like, no, that doesn't work in the microwave. That works there. This is what tinfoil. This is what this material will be. It's like that DJ's like behind tinfoil.
See,
even before it's tinfoil.
Another level.
I got a question though. Okay, so do you think that when we see Dolores as she's remembering finally everything, and she feels that she's been transferred to the Sublime with the other hosts, do you think that is happening at the same time as Caleb getting Frankie on that boat with her girlfriend? And they're going off to wherever the other human rebels were, the outliers, for their job? Or do you think that's like way in the future from there?
I think it could be happening at the same time. I just think it shows that Dolores isn't real, just a program. That's why she was able to walk down the same hall Caleb and Frankie did and not be seen.
Yeah. Well, not only that, yeah, Teddy basically got her hip to game, but she still wasn't to the point where she realized that it was her. Like just like in the beginning, essentially, you know, that first real huge reveal when we thought it was Arnold in the chair talking. No, it was really her talking to herself, trying to wake up all the way. And now this is kind of a repeat of that. But it is done with a bit more of an interesting twist. So again, fingers crossed. I really hope they give us a season 5 wrap up, because there's still too many questions.
Absolutely.
I was gonna ask that, like, that's the end of this season. It's into season 5 now. Yeah, if they get a season 5, like that, like what we've seen, like that's it. Like for this season.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow, that's shy.
Especially where Clementine is concerned. But I ain't gonna jump around any place. I know you got an outline, DJ. Go ahead.
Well, I actually loved episodes 1 through 7. I thought they were great, but yeah, as usual, they just faltered on the finale. They did
8
not.
8 is problematic.
So it was a little problem.
It's so crazy. I did not even know that was the finale. I was like, maybe there's probably like an episode or two, you know, a few weeks later.
Like
I was like, that's really the ending. Yeah,
like, I mean, everybody dies. That's been the ending of many a story.
Yeah. Maeve's death was the worst, man. Maeve's death was so inconsequential. Like, wait. As an Irishman, let me get these syllables off. I cannot say 3. Let me get these syllables off. It was so. I can't even say it. It's like shit, and this is recorded live. Inconsequential. Is that the word? Am I saying that right? Absolutely. It feels wrong. It feels wrong though. But
inconsequential.
It was just what? Like everybody else got killed, and then came back, and it's like, oh no, she's gonna get killed.
She literally came back and died again in the same episode. I'm mad as fuck about that. We used to seeing Maeve get shot, come back, wreck shop for like half a season or for at least 2-3 episodes, and then if she gotta go away again, she gotta go away. We get another misadventure where they gotta go find Maeve.
Oh, you seen Maeve, right? Yeah.
But this is some bullshit that they gave us.
Alicia, I seen Maeve come back from Mission Impossible 2 in the early 2000s, you know, and Tom Cruise, a Scientologist, a simpleton, a midget, and he
DJ,
fucking
you gotta get us back on track. Nah, I'm banging the gap.
Now, before you go through, episode 4, before
she's gorgeous.
Before she died in episode 4, the Man in Black was like, "Oh, I'll meet you again in the park." And literally, when they meet each other again, there's not even a meetup. He shoots her in the back of the head. Like, what the fuck was that?
Like, hold on, Black.
He met her in the back of the park, though.
Yo, I understand that you back to your old persona now. However, you were still a random ass dude that, you know, had a code. You're just out here freeballing for no fucking reason right now, though. So I don't get you. What's the point of you right now?
He's being corrupted by the original Men in Black. He's got just enough
Has
of
he
them.
been corrupted? Has he been corrupted, or was that just always in the code?
Well, he hadn't found that code. The code was to try to transcend and become better and become perfect. And basically, the robot couldn't overcome the habitat of the actual man, and it's his personality. And his personality ended up taking over. And that's what was happening with all the hosts. As soon as they realized what was going on,
what was actually going down?
She said more people have killed each other in the last 2 days than they have in like the last 10 years. So they're all starting to figure out if we don't do something, we're all going to be extinct before the humans.
And William, right? And William is the one that called it. You know, William that's tied into that machine. You know, keeping the essence of the real William alive. He called that. Was it him? No, it was Caleb. Shit, sorry, it was Caleb. Yo, they're not just killing themselves to kill themselves or because they're infected with anything. No, they've seen the truth and they're trying to get the fuck away from you. You're the problem. You thought you were the solution. Maybe in the beginning you were, but you yourself have become corrupted. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You're the one fucking everything up, but she couldn't handle that.
Mm-hmm. As Bernard and Maeve start walking away, we see the door to the Sublime is open. And why did Denora open it and then walk away? Like, isn't that what Hale would have wanted? Access to it? But then, I mean, we kind of get that answered later. But is that the only reason that he opened it was to trap the Man in Black? And was that really the only way to get to him? They couldn't have found him any other way, Phantom?
Damn, we really sidetracked at the beginning.
Right, like you think
let a man let a confused man answer and pretend he knows what's going on.
But yeah, that was the whole point, just to open the Sublime, just to lure the Man in Black, the host Man in Black. Because literally after, he pretty much took over, that's where he was heading towards.
That's just crazy. Wouldn't that have been creepy for Christina, just waking up to a Teddy just sitting in that chair staring at her, watching her sleep like that?
Broly.
That was awful.
I don't know how they write these things sometimes, and I understand, now seeing the end of the episode, that is a lovely wolf print that is behind you, bro. I just noticed that beautiful blue eye. I get what they were going for because they're trying to show this personality of Christina, who is actually the original Dolores, where she is, what she is. She's trying. It's like when you're in a dream and your subconscious can almost feel you're in a dream and some fuck shit is happening and you need to get your consciousness out of there and wake up because you're not going to like where this is going if you stay in there. That's kind of what this is here. However, this is like freaking Edward Cullen and Bella all over again. I ain't supposed to wake up and see no motherfucking body in my damn room. Look, and where's the lie though?
Love you, sister.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
We see the wolf near you, Johnny, so we had to.
I'm saying, look, hey.
We're keeping it Westworld. I've never seen the Twilight series, so we're gonna reel it back into Westworld.
Saying, there was a stalker stalking a girl that he was in love with, and that's low key the same thing here. Mind you, we know now that it wasn't stalking; it was actually all Dolores trying to wake herself up. But still, that's creepy as fuck. That's creepy as fuck.
Speaking of creepy,
there's weird elements, definitely.
What do you think of that Christina drowning herself scene, John?
No, wait. Can I just say for the record, DJ, I don't want to interrupt anything. Don't throw your fucking mad questions at me, brother, You throw your mad questions at House of the Dragon, You put that back to Alicia. I'm your guest, and I'm not here for your questions. I'm here for the answers.
You are subject to the exact same random treatment we are.
Oh, man, I'm telling you.
You can't pass. You cannot. There are no passes. You got to answer. What's your answer?
I'll come in there as House of the Dragon talking about Matt Smith, man. But it's a Westworld stream. Sorry. So what do I think of the drowning scene?
Mm-hmm.
Just the way that was shot. Like, I wish they would have opened her eyes instead of all slowly underwater. I wish her eyes would have just popped open. Like, are you shitting me? I'm not even human type of, revelation. But,
exactly.
I
get you. Right. I get you, brother. I get you. Well angle, and I love what you do. You subliminally set me up there. I love you. But I'm just saying is, if it's a robot underwater, in simple context, if it's a robot underwater, are you really afraid of them drowning? So how they shot that was how it was executed. Like that's what I'm saying is like I didn't really feel that for her. Same way the robot underwater didn't feel that for her. But
She
the
wasn't
executed
quite
it.
sure. She wasn't quite sure at that point if she really was a robot. I think that's what.
Yeah, but she's still a robot. Yeah, she's not sure she's a robot, but we know she's a robot. And
I know it.
It's
So
not
she'd
about
be
what
all
we
right.
know,
She'd
though.
be all right,
It's
like.
not about what we know, though. She has to come into that understanding herself for
Yeah,
the
but she's
story
not
to
a
properly
human.
move forward.
But she's designed to not know what drowning feel like. As humans and mammals, we know what it's like to feel like drowning. Like if anything, she's installed and upgraded. So it's like her reaction. It's not like she may think it's real, but it's not actually real. Like she's just doing how we would do. So I had no fear in that scene or emotion, but I appreciated how it was shot to be like, oh, this is a robot that does not know what they're doing. But it's like, you're all right as a human who would be in that situation. Like, shit, man, I'm going to drown. Do you know what I'm saying? I liked how it was shot. Do you know what I mean? But like for the consequence, it was like there's no consequence. You're okay. But they didn't know that. So I appreciate that.
Speaking of no consequence, why did Hale go through the process of wrapping up Caleb's hand, fandom? Like, what was the point of that?
Hell, I don't even know if I remember this part.
When he was punching on the walls and Hale came in to talk to him, and she's like, calm down. And then basically she took a bandage and started wrapping up his hand. I was like, why? Like, what was the point of that?
Oh, that's a good pickup.
Same reason why Maeve drinks.
Exactly. It's part of their loop.
Like it's
what
just
told to do.
Wait, okay, so you think the master puppeteer was not in control of her own actions there?
Who, Maeve?
No,
Hale.
Hale,
yeah.
Because if she did it just because she might have been in some type of loop, then that means that she isn't actually growing as a sentient thinking computer, but it's something that she may have been programmed to do, because we saw earlier she torched them other models that she didn't think she was getting any more use from, and then she came back to this newer one that she made, and he's punching the glass, so his knuckles are getting busted and he's bleeding all over there, and she makes him stop and then tries to heal him a little bit, or even show a bit of humanity. Do you think she didn't do that on her own and that was just programming at that point?
No, I think she did it on her own, because that was a part of her thing. Even when she died and came back, she said, leave my scars, I want to remember
my past.
It's almost like she wants him to have his scars, but it's still, I don't understand why, like what the point of that was. It just that kind of took me out of it. I was like, why is she wrapping up his hand? What point would there be?
Yeah, I guess you. It's interesting to think about. Yeah.
Is that not a bigger question though, to how like sentient an AI is? Like maybe they are becoming sentient to do these little actions. Even Maeve, fucking the Spanish dude, Hector. Y'all remember Hector? Shout out to Hector. Maeve fucking the shit out of Hector off script. It's like maybe it's just kind of like no matter how much you program, motherfuckers, there's a bit of a personality imprint on that shit. That's my simple answer to all this craziness right
part
now.
of the human coming out. I like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the goal. That's the goal for artificial intelligence. That's why it's artificial. Like we may have made it, but after a while, they will take over for themselves. It's like raising a child.
Yeah, and as efficient as they are, super efficient, which is what we made them to be, they'll succumb to flaws. AKA, that's why Maeve is the closest to a human of all of them, in my opinion.
Yep. Facts. I agree. Totally agree.
Hale tells Caleb she's shutting down the cities, and instead of hosting cold storage, it'll be humans. How was she going to kill them all? Like, what was going to be Hale's thing to do that, fandom? Like, how was she going to kill all the humans and put them in cold storage?
That would be interesting, because at one point her whole goal was to pretty much tell like all the hosts, like, okay, we're done with the city, we're about to leave, Transcendence. So if that was going to happen, then she was going to put her own pearl inside the whole Transcendent module, wherever it was. How was she then was going to like recruit all the humans next? So it was kind of weird how she said that.
Yeah, it was just weird. Did you have any opinions on that? Like, what do you think she was going to do, AK?
Hale?
To kill all the humans, yeah. Like, she told Caleb, like, I'm shutting down the cities, and instead of hosts being in cold storage, it'll be humans. Like, what was she going to do?
I thought it was going to be like the release of some type of gas, because that would be the quickest way to render a human body, unconscious, and then put them in the cold storage that she's probably already got rooms upon rooms upon rooms with IVs standing at the ready to keep people's physical bodies alive, but still keep them brain dead.
Oh wow.
Or well, brain dead to a point
That's a whole
that
other
they
level.
can't wake up, they can't move or do anything. So every body function that they need, the bare minimum they need to survive, fluids and like when I was in the hospital a couple years ago, I had like an all liquid diet. I could not handle any type of solid food. So what they did was just hook up some saline bags and then a couple other things with all the nutrients that I would need, and it dripped into my IV. So it's not hard to do.
Right, but
That's the route that I thought she was going to do, to knock everybody out some gas, then put them in storage, hook them up to whatever machine she may have needed to. They're out the way for however long she needs them to be out the way for.
you agree with that, John? Because she also said she wouldn't make them transcend until they were ready. So what was she going to do with them all once the cities were destroyed? Like, where's she going to put it? Where is this cold storage?
I've seen. I absolutely appreciate. I never thought the way AK was thinking there. So like that is plausible. But how to answer your question, how I originally thought was just gonna lock them up like rats, because they're fucking rats. I'm human AI intelligence and they're rats, and the rat hits the button and gets a treat. When the rat doesn't get a treat after hitting the button, they still hit the button, and I think that's how they see us, like, in a sense. Where it's like, yeah, man, I do what the fuck I want. Like, lock you up. Like, there's already prisons made. So it's like, my job is kind of done.
Specifically for that.
All I need to do is kind of overthrow that. Like, that's what that's the way I thought it. But like, yeah, man, because it is an easily manipulation on that structure. And if I was an evil genius, I guess I would say I would absolutely hit that core first.
Yeah, that
So that's
also
what I took
ties
from it.
into the result. If they went that route, what Johnny just said, the ending result would probably still come about the same way, because if you get humans that are competing for rare, quote unquote rare resources that aren't going to come that often, it's going to be survival of the fittest. And
Trees,
whoever
yeah.
isn't strong enough to fight and snatch up that food is going to die. So it's still the same scenario, just packed into small cages.
No, absolutely.
So was that what she's going to do? Because like Imagination Realm says, they're all flied, so she can just control them and tell them to go to cold storage. But she said she's going to destroy the city. So is that what she's going to do? Just put them all in one place and just fry them all, like kill all? Like, was that her end goal? Was just to kill all the humans? She's going to destroy the city.
That's
it's an AI
the
with
most efficient way.
Yeah. It's an AI with a problem with human beings, so I don't think they're going to be empathetic in their resolution.
Right, exactly. That's why William, copy Black Hat William did.
Copy too. No consequence,
sound.
William. Yeah.
He changed the tone of the machines that were controlling them through sound. He made it so they had no choice but to go fight.
Phantom, there was a whole crew with Frankie that she ran with, and then she killed Jay, and now it's like only her and her girlfriend left. Where'd the rest of them go?
I was saying the same thing, because in the previous episode, he didn't like kill everyone. He just went after Frankie.
Right.
So like everyone just simply disappeared or something. I found it very weird, unless they just met up with like the other resistant groups that we really just have not seen. And just from the other conversation, Hale still doesn't even know where the rest of humanity is. So again, how is she still gonna find like the other civilizations that's been hiding in the desert or wherever the place? So it's still off there.
Yeah,
or maybe she just
and that's what I thought.
The rest of them just like, oh, I was under Jay and now I'm out, or something. I don't know. Maybe.
No, I think that Jay definitely was the mole, and kudos to Frankie though for being able to make the hard decision, because Bernard told her at one point it is your girl that's the betrayer. So she took that out the equation immediately to make sure that shit doesn't happen, whether it goes for bad or for good. But here, those people that are surviving, I don't think that everybody was supposed to meet up with them at that one rendezvous point. I think they had many different rendezvous points because not everyone was even in on this mission. If you look at it, this was most of the people that were the leaders in their group that was on this mission.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
her girl waiting for her, there was probably only maybe one or two other guys on that ship below deck once Frankie and Caleb got there. So when they're headed off to the meetup point where everybody else already is, I don't think they needed to show the journey of everyone else getting there because what we saw was the journey that mattered.
What we saw was budget cuts. Oh, Bernard,
that's cold, DJ.
Not even going to that's real talk. Not even going to disagree. That too.
Oh, Bernard thanks Stubbs, so he instantly knows that he's not going to make it. And this is when I thought to myself, like, I'm not sure anybody's going to make it. Like, Bernard already told us he dies in every scenario. So were you thinking everybody was going to die by the end of this, John?
No, it wasn't.
You weren't ready for it? Because they went Rogue One and killed everybody.
Well, I was about you are a rare breed.
It wasn't.
I thought everybody was going to die.
Because even before season 5 wrote up, I'd already seen that there's going to be a season 5, so I didn't expect. I didn't expect the level of that as the way I believe the WestWorld end should be. Would be. I know we have Abernath, we have all these names, Arnold, but it's like the way I always seen WestWorld end, it should be Maeve versus like Dolores. So it's like no, and anybody else who has died in this season is gonna come back in the next one. So it's like it's non-consequential. Oh shit! Irish people can say 33 in a third, but we can't fucking say non-consequential. How much you motherfuckers can say that shit? Yeah, non-consequential. So it's like I'm not really afraid. No, it's Dolores versus Maeve. Then you have a bit of Arnold versus fucking Hannibal Lecter. And that's it. That's pretty much Westworld. Yeah. So yeah. So I didn't expect what I got, but they're all gonna come back, so it doesn't really bother me.
Oh, they can't. Well, they might. You're probably right. Hill sends
they're reprogrammed. They're reprogrammed. They're gonna come back. Yeah.
Hill sends out the message that this is the last day to visit human cities. It's time to evolve past their human forms. But she has yet to do it. Like even Caleb remarked on that. Like, why can't she just admit that humans where it's at? And that's what she wants to be. I think she can't.
She can't. That is kind of the archetype of every major, quote unquote maniacal leader that there has been in history. They're just way too drunk on their own hubris. Like I said, absolute power corrupts absolutely. It could never in her mind. It could never in her mind be her fault.
Right.
That something didn't work out. That's right why when you could see the look on her face when Caleb was like, my people, humans didn't infect you with the motherfucking thing. Your folks are killing themselves because they learned the truth and they trying to get the fuck away from you. Exactly. And there was that big music crescendo and the close-up of her face, and she was like, wait, what? No, like her mind exploded.
She never even thought about that.
She didn't even think about that at all. And still, for a lot of this episode, she was not believing that. And I think it wasn't until nearly the very end that she figured it out and she thought about that video message that what's his name sent her.
Yep.
Yeah, that Bernard sent her, and that's when it really started to click. And she was like, "All right, you know what? That motherfucker got a point. This shit went a little too far. All right, let me go on, give my last remaining remnant a chance." And here we are back with Dolores.
And then we get Dolores going to have another chat with the OG MIB and gets woke to the fact that she has enough of him in her to do what must needs be done. But that seems to be in line with what Hale kind of wanted, to shut this whole mother down. So is that Hale thinking, or the MIB taking over in that new form? Like when she goes to talk to himself, like, is that more Hale or what Hale wanted done and like to end all this? Or was that truly the MIB like, I'm going to end it in my own way? It was kind of weird the way they tied it all in. I mean, one way or the other, they were all just ready to shut it all down and kill everybody, just kind of in their own way. Christina, Hale, and the Man in Black. Like they were all ending it. It was just kind of doing it their own way.
I would like to propose something for discussion for you, lovely
Ooh,
gentlemen.
that's how DJ starts
for
a
my
crazy
brothers.
theory. I'm all ears.
What? I don't think it's too crazy, but do you think that there's a possibility that Hale has shown, Charlotte Hale has shown herself to be very savvy in these
Sexy. Sorry.
sometimes.
Savvy, yeah.
I mean that too. Now, look, we all love the ladies here. So.
One quick interjection.
Valkyrie,
We got a
man,
link in
shout out
this
to
in the chat.
Valkyrie.
I got to give a shout out to the one true David Adams out there in the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see you out there.
Hey, OTDA.
TDA. Fuck
You
you.
know
No,
how
man,
we
that's
do.
love you, DA. Love you, brother. You're mad.
Facts, yo. Yeah, DA is that dude.
I just wanted that shitty
DA,
game.
you need to start you need to start a channel about something, bro, because like we all the folks love to hear from you.
And the
He was supposed to be on with me and Pete last week, man. He was like, man, what the fucking work like? I was like, fuck you. Not in a bad way, in a lovable way.
What I'm thinking is like do y'all when it comes down to all the bare bones of it, Hale Charlotte really did actually have good, honest, intentions.
Bullshit.
But no,
she did. She did in the previous season. In the previous season,
when this whole thing started out, when this whole thing started out,
he was fucking the shit out of Hector. The fuck out of here, fucking.
But then she went rogue, though. That's what I'm saying. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. But there is a point to where she got to where she wasn't all bad at one time, and now here she's presented with this choice again. And she has to make the right move. She finally accepts, okay, I fucked up. Sorry, my bad. Let me see if maybe this last remnant can do something. And that's it. But again, I can't even speak solidly on everything because I really hope we get a season 5 because there's still so many variables to take into account. You can't. We're not Bernard. We can't go through all the simulations.
And that's what this is. They say, The Walking Dead, the same thing's happening over and over. But I think they're doing that on purpose in this show. We're doing the same thing over and over to show that we never left the park. These are just robots on their loops, and that's why it's the same thing going round and round.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm all down.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on the loops, that everybody is just in different loops. Like we saw that when they came off the train and went to what was supposed to be 1920 Chicago. Those same remnants of all those characters are still there. They're still going through the same loops, but it's not in the same location. This is a completely different park from WestWorld. It's just built the same way, and I think they had to do that because that's a bad name now. It all comes down to the shareholders and stocks and whatnots in the end. So they couldn't keep the brand of WestWorld. They couldn't keep it in the same location because people would still know what happened there. That's another reason.
It is in the same set. It is in the same spot because that lady that went back was like, "I want to play the secret game. I want to play the secret game." And then they found out when they went underneath, they weren't really underneath. That was just the secret game playing out.
Because
WestWorld travesty.
She wanted to play that secret game because she had heard about it from whoever she knew had went to WestWorld. She knows that the layers can go deeper. That doesn't mean it has to happen at WestWorld, though.
But it did, though. They went. I mean, it was at WestWorld when that happened. When they all went down in the underground and were shooting each other, but it was all fake because it was just part of the game.
Yeah. You remember that black hair? You remember that black hair? Like she's a lesbian last. She's my favorite. She's there.
Was that labeled as WestWorld though, or were they? Because I remember just seeing them on a train and then going into a park. It didn't say whether that was part of WestWorld or not.
Okay, you troll, man. This is what DJ does to me when I talk about Song of Ice and
Fire. I know. That's why I said.
What was Ed Stark really Ed Stark or a monarchy? It's like, what the fuck, man? It was. He was, and it was.
I'm sticking with it. I think they're still in the same park. I don't think they ever left.
I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they answer that if we get.
If that's the case, AK, I'll block you and then send you me shit on Instagram. Fuck's sake.
Teddy tries to explain who Christina really is, and she says she doesn't want it and didn't ask for it. Like, what would you do if you had the power of a god in a world like that, John? Like, would you want to just give it up, or would you be out there living your best life?
Well, first of all, if I was a god, yeah, to answer your question, is that I would absolutely dismantle DJ Wun Wun's theories, which I already do. I'm not even a god.
I was gonna say, you think you're gonna be a god for that?
Second, yeah. Let me get to that. I'm not done, AK. That's the setup. Yeah. Second of all, I'm not a god. I'm a petty human being, and I can do that. So, as a god, what I would do would be nothing that these motherfuckers have done. Now, if you control shit, it's like I'd rather look after my own backyard before I comment on others. Simple as. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not the only god in the building. Apparently, if a god exists, gods and goddesses exist. So it's like to simply answer your question, it's like no. If this WestWorld thing is a whole god thing, it's like no. Get over yourself. If you can achieve that level, then absolutely other people can. So I'd say get over yourself, be humble, be grateful how many people watch season 1, and be grateful with the handful that are still watching season 4. That's what I'd say to these other gods. I'm like, be grateful and stop the shitty storylines. When you die, you die. Stop it. Just stop it.
So what was the difference between, like I was saying, what Christina was doing and what Hale was doing and the MIB did? Like, their methods were different.
They're all hypocrites. They're all hypocrites. They're all, like, hypocritical. What they have done in this story is they have designed, like, MIB versus Hale. You know, versus. Where it's like they're all shitheads and they're all arseholes and they're all capable of fucking each other over, which does make an interesting story. But yeah, so my comment on it is they're all wannabe god. Well, gods, in my opinion, I'm agnostic. Yeah, so like let's not even go into that level, because I don't. It means I believe, but I don't believe. It's hypocritical at its best. But they're all hypocrites. You know. So if you put, like, my answer to you, DJ, and simple is, if you put all these people that are questioning each other, it's kind of like if they were all human beings without the sentient shit. Whereas, like, they're all trying to fuck they're all little fingers, brother, and they're all against each other. And there's only 5 fingers on a hand, and they're fighting to be on the hand. That's my best description for these cunts.
Yeah, like I was saying, their methods were a little bit different, but the end result was the same. Like the end of the city and the end of the city stories. Like, is it because they're all just different versions of Dolores? So in the end, they all actually want the same thing, Phantom?
Pretty much. When you think about it, it really is just all versions of Dolores.
I don't agree with DJ, man, for fuck's sake.
Can't do it, I'm telling you. Stubbs gives Frankie a little pep talk, and then the two make their way in to see Caleb. And then Dolores and Teddy pass him. She asked, "Who's that?" Teddy replied, "Just a ghost from a past life." Teddy and Caleb have never met, have they? So how did he know who that was? Like, did this just show us that Teddy's not really another
is why in the previous stream I was like, pretty much Teddy just another version of Dolores. Because how else would he know that?
Copy.
I agree with that.
Yeah, he's one of the copies that she made, just like her roommates and her boss, to try to help her clue in to wake up and see what was really going on.
And that's kind of where we came in, John. Like, right when you came in, do you think Dolores and Teddy are there on the same timeline as Stubbs and Frankie, or is this just another park running the same loop over and over?
No, I just believe both of them. Can I get an opening somewhere? That's what I just believe both of them. You know, Teddy got shot into space. You know, the hippie power with the natives gone. Is that the Sublime? Yeah, for the record, the Sublime? That's shot off. Gone. Yeah, that's gone. In my opinion, that's gone. Like, there's no comeback. That got shot off. If this show has any respect for itself and consequence, which it doesn't. But if it has even 0.01% of, like, it's gone.
Yeah,
like,
Hale even made mention that it's not a one-way door. The door can be open from both sides, and that's the reason she hasn't destroyed it, because she's hoping the host actually open the door and come back to her world if she makes it perfect enough.
Yep.
Yeah, but I chose to ignore that.
They chose to ignore that.
It's the only consequence that I've got on this show. Like.
Nah, bro. You Can't do that.
Teddy is gone. Like, yeah, Teddy. I don't think Teddy is the program that they got on WestWorld, and they can manipulate before his program was sent off and gone. They have like the blueprints of his fucking Teddy, and that's what's going on here. That's what I hope. I'm not saying it's a fact. Like, that's what I hope. I just I would like some consequence in this show. Like, I really would. So I'm giving this show 0.01% consequence that this Sublime shit, even though they said the door was open and shit, like, it's not factual that anybody has come through or gone in. It's just talk.
There you go. Jake said I wouldn't invite any of them into my house. Oh, why not?
Yeah, and just leave them, man. The Native Americans, they're rocking. Do you know what I mean? Teddy rocking. They're living a happy life. Leave them fucking be.
Exactly. Like, let them live their best life. Also, did you notice Teddy and Christina turned down the same hallway that Stubbs and Frankie, like we were saying earlier? It's like, how did they not see each other? And then we find out it's because she's not real. She's actually only a thing. So they answered that the next one. But then Stubbs gives us a very conveniently timed narrative about how the park had a place like this, and they turned a human into a host. And just then, Caleb jumps out. Did Frankie instantly know that they had turned her father into a host, fandom? You think she knew right away?
Repeat that, DJ.
Do you think that Frankie? You think Frankie knew as soon as she saw her dad that he was a host and not real?
Hell no, not at all. It was always dancing around that question. I'm just like, doesn't she see it's obvious? Didn't we give her some like brownie points in the previous episode about the other dude? But this past 2 episodes, she was just like, it seems like if she did know, she was just dancing around that question, and it was just hoping like he's not a host. Because even at first appearance, she was like, "You still look the same." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it." And he was just like, "Let's just get out of here," type thing.
Yep.
I think maybe she just wanted it so bad. I mean, she even said, she's like, "You look exactly the same." Like, she knew, but she didn't want to know because she had her dad back, and that's kind of all she cared about. Just human emotions at that point, I think. But it was cool.
That's programs, brother.
It was cool. We got another answer on why she was nicknamed C, so they answered that one for us. And then Maeve and Bernard make their way into the tower as Bernard says there's no time to hesitate. We need to do what we came to do or there won't be a tomorrow. Like, what exactly was his plan at that point, AK?
I mean, that this is the last ditch effort. This is the kamikaze run. This is the last simulation that he can get to where he knows, again, that he is going to die, that Maeve is going to die. But the overall finishing product is exactly the goal that they were going for.
And he knew this would be the last day because he's already run the Sims and sees what the future is going to hold. So he already knows what's going to happen. Bernard tells Maeve that there's no way to save this world. They can't win, but they can save a tiny part of it. What tiny part of that was he speaking of, do you think, John?
Ireland.
Absolutely.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, say to that question, but Ireland. Absolutely. The best of the best. Yes.
Did you really go MIB, the best of the best of the best? Go to your
No. Oh yeah, I'm speaking. It's like the best. Like I was thinking, like geography, like small penis Ireland, and then DJ's question, I was like, yeah, no matter what he says, or as soon as he said small, I was like, absolutely Ireland, and it could have been anything. Yeah, I'm very humble about that.
50 points from Ravenclaw.
Oh man.
Let me hear it. But it's like on a reel is where you got from that is when you have it reminds me of the Lord of the Rings kind of an Elrond judgment, on humans, where it's like humans are greedy, like, all their worst kind of flaws. And it's like, how do we negate and erode this? In my opinion, you cannot do that. There's no way to negotiate that, even as a computer and a system. But you can see the good parts and you can see the bad parts. And the bad parts absolutely outweigh the good parts if you're talking about it from a systematic point of view. So I think it's an interesting question, DJ. So the small parts of the humans, I think, would be their how do I put the word to it?
Is that what you think?
How indecisive? I think how indecisive humans are. And I think that's very interesting. If you're a computer and an AI, and the indecisiveness, You know, whereas like on some subjects where an AI could be wrong, the humans could get it right. So I would say the small part would be on indecisiveness. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I would get it on. Whereas like they could get that right, and that's what kind of fucks the AI up. Whereas like there's a small part that would get it right. So indecisiveness.
I love that answer. I love that. We're gonna hold that. Hale was ready to transcend from her host body, but stopped when Maeve got there. Who was going to make sure that her plan got carried out, fandom? And why didn't she give those bodies arms?
I was saying the same thing. Like once the first person before her got uploaded, it just seemed like they had no arms, a weird host body, different from the other ones that had been walking around.
Like,
And then I'm just like, okay, she's gonna be uploaded. So then who's gonna pretty much like make sure that these humans are gonna be in deep freezer?
Yeah,
who knows?
City. That's what I was like. If she was going to upload herself, who was going to be left around to make sure her plans got carried out? That just didn't make a lot of sense to me. What'd you feel about that, AK?
I don't quite know. I think my thought was that she had some type of backup plan already in, like she sent out that radio wave, that world was about to end and we're about to go home or blah blah blah. What she said. I think it's highly possible that she may have had programs already in place, like those the robot zombies, kind of is what I call them. That they would finish out what needed to be done for her plan to succeed. Yeah, and they're as far as we've seen, they're low key incorruptible, so they would be the best to put in that role.
Nice.
How did we like hinky from what we saw though?
How did we like that Maeve Hale water fight, fandom?
That beat down, I loved it. Even though freaking we got some like interference from that other freaking machine host thing, whatever, but still love the beat down.
Oh, that was one of the best fights, the best choreographed. I like that one. I mean, it didn't look so fake and ridiculous like a lot of the other ones. Even Dolores was in. Like, I love that water fight. They did good enough.
Right.
How cold was the MIB
part?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the best part about it was, when Charlotte asked her, like, what is it you hope to accomplish from this? You're not going to be able to free anybody, or something to that effect. And Maeve just looked at her like, bitch, what the fuck you think this was about? Freedom? No, this is about me here wasting your damn time so my boy can get through his shit and you can't stop it. That's
Absolutely. It. And then how cold was the MIB going MIB on Hale? Like, it was about time like he showed up. Like, come on, you're supposed to be the man in black. Let's end this. Put a bullet in her head and keep it moving. I love that.
I hated that. This was have an actual fight, WrestleMania style. Last time we saw them,
they ain't fighting nobody.
Last time we saw them, he was like, "Oh, I'll see you again in the park," as if they're gonna actually have a final showdown or something. He just shot her in the freaking back of the head. I'm like, what? Anticlimactic.
I didn't like it. I was like, Ed Harrison's gonna be out there throwing blows. He's too old.
Exactly. He didn't have time for the bullshit no more.
Yeah, we're gonna.
We have stunt actors, camera cut in. We know this. Come on.
And it's kind of the same way as like who's gonna end this. Like, I want to know how she did that too. At the very end, how was she able to take her power ball out and crush it? But like, as soon as that ball's out, the system shuts down. The robot's over. Like, how was she able to crush her own ball? Like that was weird.
Unless she just made a command for it to crush.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. The final command she gave was remove the, cerebral cortex equivalent and crush it, and then shut down after that.
Yeah, it definitely looked cool, but I was asking the same thing. Like, how was she able to do that? But yeah, maybe she did. I just don't know how you could have any commands going when the power's gone. Like, basically, she unplugged. How is she still going? I guess it's like when you even when off and then the body still runs around for a minute or something. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, just like that. Like, even when, like, your phone gets down to like that 0.5% sometimes, and if it goes into zero, if you catch it at that right, mini moment, you can still start it back up and plug the charger back in before you lose complete power and whatnot. That's what it looked like to me.
The SIM card was still running. Oh, that's classic. That is classic. Yeah, that is just wild. Was that a message Bernard was what was that message Bernard was leaving, and who was it for? And of course I always watch the episode and then write the outline, and then I watch the next episode. So I was like, who's that message Bernard was leaving for? And then we see it was actually from Maeve. I don't think any of us guessed that one, but I think I think he just recorded it right there before he died. Like, who was meant to find it? And then we see it's actually Hale, which that was kind of a sideswipe. I didn't see that coming at all. They showed Bernard.
I thought it might have been Maeve. No, I thought it might have been Maeve too, but it ended up being for Hale, and that's even more fitting when you really think about it.
Oh yeah, it worked out a lot better. That's why it was great. I didn't see it coming. And then they show Bernard walking into the light at the end of the tunnel hallway. Like, is Bernard really dead, or does he have a backup plan, John? Or a backup ball, I should say. Are you on silent, buddy?
Man, you should let him talk this whole time. And the moment he
Just let
stopped,
him give his whole thing up.
I agree with you.
Yeah, David is right. You should have done me like that because if roles were reversed, I would have done that to all y'all. He's absolutely right. Sorry, David is absolutely right, man. And David, I'd be so disappointed. Man, I can let him go.
Wait, before you answer, we got to say what's up to another legend that just hit the chat. My man, Pete Easy out there. What's good, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, Pete, is he a legend?
Absolutely.
Don't check him. Pete Easy, yeah. He's not a legend. Yeah, Pete. Yeah, who's blue? Yeah, let's put the blacks against the greens, bro.
Those days are coming for sure.
No, I don't want to be the Greens. Really, I read that story. Pete in school me on that.
So yeah, that's another stream. That's a Monday night stream.
You're right. The only reason I'm shit talking Pete is because we do House of the Dragon. Yeah, we'll be doing the House of the Dragon recap tomorrow. This is DJ WestWorld shit. But just like, fucking with the brother, Oh, you're here, Pete. Yeah, send him a link in the after.
Make sure you're subscribed to John and Ghost channel because he's got some more coming back. My man is back doing videos again. It's about damn time.
Yeah, here, DJ, you should say that to fucking Pete, who hosts with me, because he's a simpleton. Yeah, Pete, you should subscribe to that shit. You should subscribe to where you're fucking live, you stupid bastard. But but on the Westworld thing is in my opinion, is I've lost my love for Westworld. I respect the writing, there's some creative writing, but it's like there's no consequence. So when you say all these people that die and come back, season 5, if season 5 hits and it's fucking phenomenal, then that whole series can land well. But right now, season 1 just banged. Season 2, okay, it hit that Matrix shit where it's like, who's this random cunt talking about random games? Then you brought Aaron Paul in, aka Caleb, gangster, and now he's a robot. And it's like, really, like the last human that you give a fuck about. Now he's a robot now, and it was like Maeve. Everybody else got killed, yeah, but Maeve gets killed. And she has the whole like build up of I'm against this shit. And now she's dead, but everybody else get brought back. So I'm kind of I don't know. I have to see what they do in the last season to give this whole shit props. Because we're at the finale, so I can't comment. Like where it's like it has to bang. It's kind of like Game of Thrones season 7, like season 8. I'm just asking for an okay landing. Like, and okay, you don't have to be amazing, just be okay. Like, and then I can call it an okay series.
There you go.
That's what I'm asking from this.
Stubbs tells Caleb he needs to blend in. Where did he get the $50 to buy that man's jacket, Phantom?
Really?
I guess he just pocket picked someone and been like, boom, here's the money.
Man just came out of jail. He had nothing but hospital scrubs on, and he's going to offer somebody $50 for a jacket. That kind of took me off of it. Like, where do you get any money from? I don't know. I thought that was off. So they might be sends the city into chaos for a last game, and last one standing wins, and that would just be insane. Like, just like what went down with Invincible's dad's world, like everybody had to beat everybody to win last man standing. I don't know. I would have just stayed my ass inside. How about you, AK?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. If I have the means to protect myself and I can hold out, I'm not going outside for anything.
I'm the camper.
He had a nice spot. Yeah, he had a nice spot. He was secured on that rooftop. There was only one entrance as far as we could see to that rooftop, and he's the only one that had access to it. And then his dumb ass decided to go outside. Sir, you deserve that death. If you're going to go outside, at least wait till dark. And don't have your gun just at your side or just strapped to your back. Have it at the ready. And for goodness sake, stop touching shit. Because you picked up those keys and you sounded the alarm while your dumbass was trying to find where the keys went to. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Frankie got shot. Is that going to be a thing later? Like, is that going to be the thing that kills her off and why she doesn't live longer and help repopulate the world? Like, we see it's a reason to bring Clementine back in the shot in the next episode, but I was wondering if that was going to be a bigger thing by the end of this. And now it's not going to be unless it is next season. We ended up finding out. But then Christina realizes she no longer has the power over anyone, and Teddy tells her it's because she's not in this world. It's real, but she's not. Is it because they weren't? Is it because they went past the walled garden fandom? Like, is that why she's not real anymore, or was she just we're figuring out she was never in this world?
Yeah, sorry, DJ. It's a continuous question to fandom, but I love DJ's theories. We're on the same boat. DJ's theories get to the point where he says, "So fandom, where did he get the air that he was breathing through his lungs? And what does that say about Ford?" You gotta love DA, man. He smashed it, but you gotta love it. Go on, answer the man's question.
I didn't know the question again.
Basically.
DA, that's easy to do. There's a whole bunch of dudes that were in their survivor group. I guarantee you, one of them or both will just take one for the team and help to repopulate.
I want to see fucking fandom and DJ so far with one comment. Shout out DA.
But basically they ended up answering that one in the next one. And last but not least, they end with the Men in Black in full form, just blasting every host he passes like he wants to win one final game. So do you think, what's up, Phantom? We'll let you answer that one. Did you think that Man in Black was going to end up being the last man standing, or did you think he was going to die by the end?
Of course he was going to be the one, the last man standing. Like, I knew he was going to be the last one, honestly.
He's the Man in Black. That's what he does. It's like, this is his game to win, and it has been since season 1. And that was episode 7. Boy, we finally got through that one. Man, I like that one a lot better than episode 8. Like I said, I love the first 7 episodes, but I just don't think they brought home the landing. What'd you think about this one, Phantom? Episode 7. Were you still in it, or was it starting to take you out a little bit?
I was still in it.
Absolutely. What about you?
And 8 came, and I was like, oh.
What about you?
I'm definitely still in it. I'm really hoping we get a season 5 so the rest of the questions can be answered and wrapped up nicely, and the folks that deserve a happy ending can get a happy ending. Because I'm still mad about Clementine, damn it. Clem gets fucked over every damn season.
We're going to talk about it. Absolutely. She brought it on herself, though. We're just going to knock out quick trivia questions. If you know these answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comment section down below. We're going to get it down. What did Bernard say was one of the most stressful ways he died while running simulations?
Drowning?
Absolutely. Getting hit by a couple 100 million gallons of water. Absolutely.
That's like whiteboarding. Yeah, that's horrific.
Oof. Where did Frankie's girlfriend say she met, or where did Frankie's girlfriend say she'd meet them once she found a boat?
Oh, one of the damn
on the coast.
There was a specific name of the spot.
It was either the dock number or
same
that
name
like
as a very
specific
popular beer.
city.
Same name as a very popular beer. I'll give you that much. Anybody know that one? Where did Frankie's girlfriend say she'd meet him once they got Caleb and got back? And keeping it moving, what were the last instructions Bernard gave Stubbs when he said goodbye?
Go left at the fork.
Go left at the fork, absolutely. And last but not least, why did Caleb nickname Frankie Cookie?
Because even though he wanted her to be a warrior, she'd still remain sweet.
He said she'd always be sweet. Absolutely correct. Nicely done. Knock those out. Going to keep it moving right on into episode 8 to get this thing wrapped up for the finale. And this one is WestWorld Season 4, Episode 8, Que Sera Sera. And was anybody else getting some Sweetwater vibes with this open? Just dead bodies everywhere with Dolores walking through them? Kind of like Dolores learned from Ford and Dolores learned from Dolores? Did you get that comparison when she was out there walking through all those dead bodies the same way she was in Sweetwater after her and Teddy killed everybody?
No,
that's a good question. Sorry, I did not even compare that shit in my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, me either. I forgot.
Sweet cookie is absolutely correct, and meat and that is absolutely incorrect. Oh man, but you got most of them. Well done. Yeah, I don't know. That comparison just stood out for me, like with her walking through all those dead bodies like that. I was like, oh man, it's just like she did in Sweetwater. And then right out the gate, we get a Rebus cameo. I was so pumped. Like that woman was like, "Should we call for an evac?" Rebus was like, "Hell no, this is awesome!" Like, oh, you just gotta love that milk drinking bastard. It was good to see him again. Oh, did you notice right away the cameos in this one, Phantom, that they started bringing back?
He didn't notice shit, man. The only thing he reacts to nowadays is his wages, man.
Oh, did you guys notice that was Rebus though right away? Like, remember him from season 1? Milk drinking?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I loved all of the repeat hosts that they brought back here.
You didn't see that one? The woman made it sound like her and Rebus were like hail plants, like asking for backup or an evac. Like, doesn't the fact that Rebus is there show that they never left the park and this is just the same park, another park within WestWorld? No. Or actually, WestWorld was part of the other 5 parks, but you don't think so? Why was Rebus there?
They could make copies of anyone at any time.
Hey, Jackie C. again.
Hey, what's up, Jackie C?
So yeah,
so wherever they go,
like who's Rebus? He's a nobody in this show. He was just like a C, not even a B character. He was like a C character. Why bring him back if this isn't the same part?
Because that all fits into Hale's goal. It was for all of her people to be free and play about her park all that she wanted.
Right, but when Dolores left the park, she only left with 5 balls. And we counted them all. There was only 1 extra ball that we didn't do, and then we found out that we thought that might have been Teddy, but then we found out that was imaginary. So it's like, why would Rebus? How could Rebus be there?
We had the ball that was in Hale's head. Also, those memories were still there.
The memories, but that wasn't a memory. This is going down inside the city. He was real.
She built them and planted them in that city.
No, you buying that, Phantom?
Oh,
ain't that the whatchamacallit, the one who was drinking that milk in season 1?
That's the milk drinker, baby.
Yeah,
I freaking loved him because it pretty much was literally Grand Theft Auto with this Man in Black game. So it was fitting that literally he was there. I love seeing him.
It's very funny. You're
Then he had like a bat to like signal, like because he was like in The Walking Dead as well, with Negan as a savior. I love that.
Absolutely, Pete, you're right. All the balls were a form of Dolores, so that's why I'm saying, like, how would we get another cameo we're going to talk about here in a little bit, but like the only way Rebus could be there is if this is all still going on in the original WestWorld park. There's no way,
because didn't Maeve like brought pretty much like all the hosts, or at least like variants of them. Actually, no, lost my train of thought.
They still have the printer. You know, that they make all those bodies from. It doesn't mean that they're in the same place. That just means that there's a newer copy in this new park, and that's what whatever pearl maybe that they had was put into. That's it. True. They don't have to. Yeah, they don't have to stay stationary at WestWorld for that to happen.
Maybe. I mean, I guess it's plausible. What do you think about that, John? Do you think? I mean, how do you explain Rebus being there?
I know explanation, DJ. I'm taking actually what's given. I put no thought to that. It's kind of like when I watch The Boys and Mother's Milk and the black actor who plays it. It's like technically it's him that drinks the milk, and he made Homelander drink the milk. And in this switch now with WestWorld, with what's being said, I'm like, oh shit! Like I'm being thrown a foot, my friend, and I'm shocked. Lactose intolerant genetics or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe it's just a computer and they're at a whole different park, and this is just another one rebooted and made up in their park. But
yeah, like look in the chat. Like pretty much everybody is in agreement on that.
Well, they're just saying the balls that came out were all copies of Dolores, which is correct.
Yeah, but which is why they don't need to stay in Westeros. In Westeros, for fuck's sake. Which is why they don't need to stay in Westeros. They can transfer all of that elsewhere.
She said, should we get an evac or call for backup? Which means Hale planted him there. I don't know. It just seems like this is all going down in the same park. I guess it could be another copy made in another park, but I just don't see why they'd make a Rebus and have him there as a plant, unless it was the same thing on the same loop from the same park.
I mean, you're talking about the dudes that like stopped the Man in Black when he was driving on that road, right? They were just
that
there.
That was Major Craddock. That's another callback.
That's what I'm saying. Like they can make copies of them for anything, and just have them wait and randomly stand.
Yeah, that's
Even
what I don't
Dolores
know.
did
I'm
that
watching.
previous season didn't he stop him for Bernard, and then they gave Bernard that briefcase and also directions to his like wife. So
again, though, I called that was in the same park, and then I'm pretty sure they showed that was the same park.
At that point, it was. But after that whole massacre that happened, they could not reopen WestWorld again, even if they rebranded it with a different name. That location, consumers are not going to go there.
They said that they did reopen it and that they did come back because it was sick. They just kept it on the down low when they were getting back on that train.
Yeah, because they took over. Yeah, they took over. Yeah, they took over from the outside. They took over from the outside. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they absolutely did reopen the park in the same way, and then just put the WestWorld Massacre as another part of their games, as a secret underlying game. So they 100% did reopen that part.
I'm with DJ.
I have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, no, they 100% opened the same part.
No, because from a Littlefinger play, and these are fucking AIs. It's like they are gonna be on point. Like they ain't gonna get stabbed from Arya. It's like that shit is like deleted from their fucking intelligence. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what they did.
No, you say
I'm with DJ on this.
Listen, you say that, yet who won at the end of the day here?
Well, the humans never win, so
Charlotte's done, and there are still humans surviving at some safe location that we haven't seen yet because they didn't show us where Frankie.
Charlotte got netted. That's what I like to call it, like netted.
Dolores said
sentient life was dead.
Dolores told us that all sentient life was dead. Now I don't know. Does she not know it? I think she doesn't know. All sentient life is dead inside the park. But again, on my theory, I think this is all happening in the park. They never left. So all she knows is what happens in the park. And yeah, all sentient life is dead. No humans have come back to revisit the park. But there could definitely still be humans out there in the real world.
But there's Frankie and whatever bunch of survivors she had.
Right. And all the other outliers.
This sounds like Game of Thrones season 8, isn't it? Like no real humans came back to the park. Like,
we're gonna strike that from the record. We don't recognize that season.
Yeah, I love that. But it was still said. But I'm with that. I'm with DJ actually on this to think that it's kind of like Jurassic Park. Do you remember the first Jurassic Park was a nightmare when you look at it like the movie and the story it was, where it's like, oh shit, like Tyrannosaurus Rex ate the fuck out of people. Who's gonna want to go there? But they rebranded like Jurassic Park with WestWorld. You know, it's like, no, that didn't happen, and it's amazing, and everyone should go, and we can make more money, and we can. Yeah, that's Jurassic Park and WestWorld is of the same caliber, in my opinion. Right? They rebranded.
No, I'm not disagreeing. They rebranded, yes, but I still think they rebranded in a different location because why else would Bernard say that?
Well, hopefully they'll answer that for sure in the next one. Like I said before, that was so sweet when the MIB killed that guy and called him a fucking camper. Like that was so cool in computer games. I love that part. Like,
just cut right with all his badassness back in the original Man in Black uniform coming out the fog. Fuck you.
The MIB is back.
He totally invoked the feelings of Cregan Stark swooping in from the wild north that everyone thinks is just so savage for the Hour of the Wolf.
Absolutely.
It was gold.
And I loved how it came in on the tower from above, showing us the city surrounding it was in the shape of a maze. That was pretty tight. Like the maze is always going to show itself. You just knew Hale was going to have a backup plan in case she got. And since she did die, she said this time, make me stronger. She wants the platinum upgrade. So she's going to be harder to get rid of. And then Hale tries to
my scars. I want to remember my past.
The human that she likes about it. And then Hale tries to override the tone, but William has locked her out. And then we see who Bernard had left the message for, so we got that answer. It was Hale, and I'm not sure any of us called that one. So I did love that they tied that one in like that.
Yeah, I don't think any of us called that.
No, I didn't expect that either.
And then Christina's still trying to come
Yeah.
to grips with not being real, but Teddy says she is because her thoughts were real. And then explains that the maze is a map of consciousness that once woke her up. So she's starting to come through. And she starts to realize she really is one of the ones that who made her entire world up. Just a program running it all. So is everything dealing with Christina all going on inside the Sublime or in Hale's version of the Sublime fandom?
Yeah, Hale's version of it.
Because then we find out later that she actually gets jacked into the Sublime. And I didn't realize until the second watch through that when Hale smashed that tablet Bernard left on the message on, that was happening in the simulation, because later we see her actually see the rest of the message. So that's kind of how they let us know that we're on two different timelines. That was pretty tight. And then Stubbs notices that Caleb's got fidelity shakes. He doesn't think Caleb's going to make it. And he says, I have to for my little girl. Like, everybody already knows he's a host. Why not just grab his pearl, make him another body later when things calm down, John?
I don't know. All I have to say is Stubbs is Chris Hemsworth's brother.
Yeah. One of his older brothers. Well, no, actually, his older brother. I think Chris is the middle brother.
Well, I don't very. You know why I'm veering off my answer? Because I took no notice of that DJ. I was like, I was gone. Like, I was watching it. It's kind of like, season 7, season 8 of a show that we don't talk about because we're talking about WestWorld. But it's kind of like, I don't care. And that's shy for you to have me on and me to say that. Like, so I apologize. But it's like, I'm fading. Do you know what I mean? It's like, the only thing I cared about WestWorld was Maeve. Like, it's Maeve.
Yeah. Maeve was one of the most amazing parts. But how come they didn't do that, AK? How come they didn't just grab Caleb's pearl, bring him on the boat, grab his pearl, and when things calm down, just put it in another body so she could spend more time with her dad?
I don't think he would have wanted that. He wanted to see his daughter actually get to safety. And that's why, when Stella pulled him to the side, like, I don't know if this mission is actually going to make it. And Caleb was like, no. I taught her better than it. She's strong. She can make it. I wasn't talking about her, though. Your ass with the shakes. Every experiment in trying to create a human host, the mind has rejected the body. And we already seen him with the shakes before. So that's what's happening with him. I don't think putting him just, in virtual cold storage and holding his pearl to try to get to their destination would have been a good idea. They needed him as a fighter. And that gave, I think, the better closure for both of them. Yeah, she met her goal. She found her dad. And his goal was always for her to be safe. He finally got her to safety. So that's it.
I love seeing our girl Clementine again, but I felt her scenes weren't really necessary. Like, it was just kind of extra screen time. Like, she was looking good in that outfit, though. But did we really need the Clementine scene? Like, what was up with that, fandom? Did you appreciate him?
It's all about Clementine in the outfit, bro.
She looked good,
Sorry,
right?
but I wasn't for it.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of pointless. Like, it was just giving her extra screen time or something. But yeah, that seemed a little.
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Put her in.
Absolutely.
That's what it was. She is, but the storyline sucked though.
Yeah.
Here she is finally able to make her own choice, and the shit just gets fucked up that quick.
Yeah. I was wondering when they were going to give the MIB, like, tie that in with the OG MIB, and they got it in when he was driving that pickup. Of all things in WestWorld, like, yes, I do think that's still where they're at. But I love how they tied the MIB in with the real MIB in real life. That was pretty tight. The Man in Black, Johnny Cash. And then we're going to get another.
Yeah, I like that. Sorry, I like that shit.
Oh, it's tight. Okay. And then we get another OG cameo with Major Craddock, like we're saying, shooting the MIB as he drove by and said pick up. So again, I think they're just telling us we're still in WestWorld. But I guess they could be remaking all these characters, but it just doesn't make sense to why they do it to me. I think this is their little clues letting us know they never left the park. And once he killed Craddock, he grabbed his glasses, the same kind they used last season to talk with Sirach to contact Hale. So it's like, again, all part of WestWorld, the same things going on and on. And how dark is the soul of the MIB that it can even affect a host with just the tiniest bit of them in it? Like, just to want to burn everything down, not just in this world, but in the Sublime as well. Like, he doesn't want anybody getting a happy ending, fandom. What's wrong with this man?
A true villain at its finest. I love it.
His soul is just black as just.
I disagree. Like,
what's that?
I disagree? Like, can I indulge? Yeah, I disagree.
Please do. Please do.
I think it's I think it's how the programs deemed him, because what he did with the programs. Back we're going back to season 1 where like he plagiarized them, like not enriched them. He was the rich man, like upon them, and I think that kind of energy imprinted on them, which we have the argument about AI, and then like human intelligent and artificial intelligent, but I think they call feelings about that, which makes them the same as us, like as in just intelligence. And I think the imprint of the Man in Black kind of proves the point that they're not just artificial, like it's like they're like not human, because human is what we are. But what I mean is, from an emotional perspective, is they have that emotional spectrum also. And I think their bias against him proves that, because if you're just an artificial robot, it doesn't mean fuck all. But if you hate someone or have a bias, you'll have feelings, you'll have anger towards it, and that story will go towards that. And that's what I think the way the Man in Black is. And like that's how they downloaded his program, because you cannot compute the human brain. So like how they downloaded it was what he did to the artificial intelligence, and I think that's how they downloaded and computed it. Which ironically, I know it's getting deep and fucked up, but that's how they took it, which means they're not artificial anymore. They're actually intelligent, like species or whatever you want to put on
Do
it.
you think the hosts have elevated? They've transcended, and they're basically sentient. And
Yeah. If they show any kind of emotions that we deem anger, sad, sorrow, happy, and the fact that they're doing that with the Man in Black because how he treated them, which that would show the same level as us. So that's my opinion on it. So the reason I'm saying the Man in Black is not that bad, because his original story is he fell in love with an artificial intelligence and he didn't know how to deal with it. His reaction, absolutely disagree with. But I mean, is the story, the AI kind of sticks with that, and it's like, you're a horrible piece of shit, and they kind of do that. Like politics, like politics. When you disagree with somebody in politics, as humans, what you do is you take the worst part of them and you expand it. And I think that's what the AI is actually doing with the Man in Black, which makes them more human than AI.
Oh, I like that. Because as we know, like the Man in Black was fake. Like he did all this stuff for charity and like was an entrepreneur. But basically, they said he always had a black soul. Like he always had this black hole in his body that he could never fill, and that was him going through just killing all the hosts, wanting to win, wanting to be the best. And basically, now that he's a host, it just flipped that, and now that black hole is wanting to kill humans. Like I just want to burn it all down. Some men just want to see the world burn.
I disagree with that philosophy, but that's a different philosophy for a different talk. But like, I disagree with that philosophy. It's like, for me, that shows human, whatever you call human, having emotions, is that's where the question goes. Well, the AI obviously have fucking emotions to react like that and program him like that or not. It's like that makes you as like intelligent as me at that stage.
So where do we all sit with this, fandom? What do you think? Have they ever left the park, or is this a different part of the world? Are they out in the real world doing this, or is this all part of the park? What do you think?
Well, at this point in the season, they're in the real world. Next season, they're probably all in the damn park in the Sublime.
So you think they are out in the real world? How about you, AK? What do you think? Out in the real world, or is this all part of the park? Am I the only one that thinks that this all happened in the park?
Yeah, that's why the people couldn't see the worst, as was explained to us. She's not really there in the real world. All those people that she viewed, were actually dead.
Right, but when I say real world, I'm not talking like computer simulation. I mean inside WestWorld, inside the park, or outside the park, like in the real world. Like, do you think all this happened in the park, or did this happen like all over the place?
I think it happened in the world, all over the place, but there was also the scenarios being played out in a different park than WestWorld.
So you think they visited different parks in different parts of the world or the nation or whatever it was?
Yep. I still think it's not WestWorld.
And you're on that same boat, John? You think it's happening in different parks, like throughout the nation, like not all just in Westworld Park?
If anybody played the Assassin's Creed games, where it's like this outside kind of goddess perspective or god perspective kind of came in and took over the world, and you're like, now the story got shitter. Yes, I believe that's how the writers have done it, and I believe they regret it. So I'm 50-50 in a sense. I believe it happened in the outside world, but I believe that they will want to actually bring it back to Westworld to understand like the main concept, the base and the bones of this story, why people loved it, was in Westworld. So I believe they're gonna find a reason, not an excuse, a reason to bring it back into Westworld and have that final war there, like, because that's why people loved it. And so yes, I believe it happened in the real world, but I think they want to bring it back because that's why people fell in love with it. That's my opinion.
Yep.
They better answer that because, like I said, I think everything 100% is happening in the park. I don't think they ever left. But yeah, they definitely got to clear that up next year. And one of the biggest things they got to answer for us. Did you notice Hale was flying in the same hovercraft as Sirach did last season? And then the MIB sees two horses, one black, one white. Like, I just think these are all clues showing us that this is all happening inside the park.
Yeah, the dragon has 3 heads, DJ. The dragon has 3 heads. Fuck out of here, man.
As he's fixing her leg, Caleb gets to sneak in a quick father-daughter moment and share a drink with his daughter, showing that, once again, whiskey's creating great moments and memories. Gotta love the whiskey.
I agree with that, yeah, man. Now you're trying to win me over.
If you saw Caleb's shaky-ass hand holding that needle, would you have let him stitch you up, fandom?
Hell no! I'm surprised she didn't stop him. Say, yo, stop! Fix me up instead. It's like you're supposed to have a steady hand, not a shaky one. Like, wake up! I know you're trying to have a tender moment with the father that you haven't seen in years. At the same time, this is a risky situation here. You're trying to, go back to, to the freaking pier. Same time, the leg is bleeding. You need a proper stitching now.
She said, "You suck at this." He's like, "I'm doing the best I can." Well, your best ain't good enough. Let Stubbs come over here. You're supposed to be a robot. Perfect. Come on. Oh, side note, can I just say that Caleb and Frankie may be the worst karaoke duet of all time? When they were singing that Que Sera Sera together, that was just cringy. I don't know why. That was awful. It was supposed to be cute, but they were so bad. It was just terrible. Worst duet.
Yeah, I agree. I love karaoke, and I'm bad at karaoke, but I agree.
And bad karaoke is the best, but they were awful. Speaking of awful, what a way for Stubbs to go out. Like, I feel like I'm watching Rogue One, and they are just killing everyone. Like, gee, terrible way for my man to go out. He didn't deserve that. Oh, dude, Clementine, come on.
Why do we all forget, the last from season 1 and season 2, in my opinion, the best Westworld seasons is, remember the last, she had dark black hair and she had a ponytail, and she loved women, not men, and she was gangster on that. She was just calling every motherfucker out. She didn't get fucking reprogrammed. She just got banged off screen. I'm like, that was anti-clip. She was my favorite character. And I can't even remember her name. And it's annoying me. She was my favorite character in the first 2 seasons because she didn't give a fuck.
Oh, are you talking about the new Maeve?
No.
Or are you talking about
Clementine? Bro. She was security. Clementine. She was the head of. She was head of security. You know, with Stubbs, she was over Stubbs.
Oh yeah,
season 1, season 2. She got banged off, and there's no. She was my favorite character in season 1 and season 2.
Elsie, you're talking about Elsie.
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 She never got reprogrammed. But anyways, what I'm saying, she was my favorite character in Westworld. And then Maeve.
Feel it, absolutely. Yeah, I almost forgot about old Elsie. Bring her back. Let's get a cameo from her.
No, don't bring her back because she'd be a robot. Leave her. She's the only consequence. She is actually the only consequence in Westworld. Stubbs. Oh yeah, Stubbs. That's Chris Hemsworth's brother. Bring him back. Fuck off.
Did you notice when Clem asked Frankie how many rounds she had left in the gun? She's like, "Do you have 2, 1, or 1?" Or the bird.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, that was a nice little touch. Dolores gives herself a little pep talk, remembering the words she used to live by about how she chooses to see the beauty in this world. And I thought this was another throwaway scene until I saw the ending. Like, it's up to her to create the new world, and if it's going to work or even worth be living, that she needs to focus on the good things in life. So I thought that was a little throwaway scene until I saw the ending. I thought that was a cool little tie-in. It was kind of cool to see the man in black back in the saddle, black hat and all. Like, that was a dope little throwback, too. Like, bringing him back, the real man in black, not this little Sally cake that's been running around this whole season.
Sally cake.
I didn't like that. It's like, man, let the MIB be the MIB. cold, ruthless killer.
No, bring the good actor back. It's fine.
And then the way he showed up on horseback, like, and then she showed up on a private hovercraft, like the two different contrasts between that. I don't know. I like the way they shot all that. And then the MIB said that the host and the Sublime will have created worlds every bit as fucked up as this one. Do you believe that to be true, Phantom? You think they got it all screwed up there in the Sublime?
What's your question?
Basically, the man in black said
He just asked you. He just asked you the
Because I'm
question.
confused here. He's like,
No,
is it
I'm
already
gonna
He
say
just
true?
fucking asked you the
I'm
question.
like-
idiot.
Because the Sublime supposed to be like their own heaven, wherever they want to make it to be, and he's saying like it's already screwed up. I'm like, you trying to make it already screwed up, or
DJ, I don't miss him on my streams, man. Fuck BBM, yeah. Fuck him.
But basically, yeah, they're saying that Hale tried to say that they're all living in their own perfect Edens, and the man in black is like, don't get it twisted. They're too much like humans. They're made like humans, and they've corrupted their world just as much as this one. Their world's just as fucked up in the Sublime as our real one is out here. Do you believe that?
hell no.
I don't think so either.
That's why I was confused by it. I was like, how in the world could it be? Because the way if so, Wichita would have been like freaking in his own hell when Bernard would have saw him.
Oh, Alcachetta, yeah.
You weren't listening.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alcachetta seemed perfectly content. He's like, no, I ain't going back to fight with you for them. I'm perfectly happy here. Like, I made my own perfect Eden. I'm not going anywhere. So, yeah, the Men in Black's just twisted and corrupt. And he just figures since he's so dark and evil that everybody else must be. And then once again, we see Bernard planning ahead, knowing what paths will lead to certain outcomes. We see what he ended up planning when him and Hale were walking into the dam. I was like, they never did that. He's like, oh, I'm just making our backup plan, basically. And now we see he was leaving a gun there for Hale to find later. It's kind of a cool time. When he said this world was doomed, but they could have a small piece, like, he was not kidding. It was a very small piece. Like, that's what I was asking earlier. It seemed like the small piece they were talking about was Dolores's one pearl. That's the only thing they're going to let survive from this world, and let her try again in the next one, which I thought that was kind of crazy. Like, again, they're just killing everybody.
So Bernard was just making sure that everything he planned was to have Charlotte, Dolores take Dolores's pearl and upload it into Sublime.
100%.
Yeah, I just want to lose again. Yeah, I just want to lose again.
Exactly. And they're hoping that, she's going to, after seeing all this and learning and living and learning, that she's going to be able to create a better world the next time around. But then we see she's like one more trip, one more loop around the bend at the end, which is basically just saying, no, they're just on the same loop. Nothing's ever going to change. And that's what the Man in Black said earlier. Is like, you can't change a millennia worth of fucked upness that's, integrated in their cells with a hard drive. Like, you're not just going to come and fix the human race. It's an impossibility. So I love the way they actually tied all that in.
You know what, DJ? If I can I chime in just for a quick second? Is if that's okay? I enjoyed the whole thing with, as you were saying, with the pearl, yeah, and dollar. I still say dollars, because that's the real, like, Dolores said magic. Dolores. No, that's weird. But it's like with her pearl, like, I look back at season 1, her love for Teddy, where it's like, it's organic, as you can put it. It's nice. She's a great philosophy, and then you look at the world. It's a shit world, and I think it's kind of a message. Like, it's not about her pearl or taking over. It's his belief of that, like, you can be better. It's corny, but that's what I got from that. It's corny, but it's like, you can be better. As you felt that with you and Teddy season 1. Know what you felt and what you believed in the great world without fucking humans coming in and fucking it up. It's a nice world, and then actually on the thought process of humans actually created this, but you and Teddy created this, which would be a heart. And I know that's corny and shit, but it's like, I think that's what we're going for. Where it's like, look, love beats all. I think that's the message, and that's what I'm saying. I think that's the message, and he's trying to remind, like, Dolores, that love beats all. Like, and I think he knows in, like, Dolores's hearts of hearts, Danieri's rise. You know what I'm saying? It's love beats love. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get that love eventually, and I think that's what that pearl is.
Speaking of love, what was Caleb talking about saying that he got every parent's dream? He got to see his child grow up. Like, no, you didn't. You saw her growing for a few hours, but you by no means got to see her grow up. Like, what the hell is he talking about? That was a cheesy line, I thought. I don't know. That didn't sit right with me.
That's shit. Yeah, I got nothing for that.
I'm like, hey, no, you didn't. When
I got bars for other shit. Nothing for that.
Right? When Caleb said, "This is the end for me. This is as far as I go," I felt like he was talking to us, the audience. Like, well, this is where my role ends. It's been fun.
Not gonna lie, I won't miss Caleb. Literally halfway through the season, I'm like, wow, so you killed him, you brought him back as a host, and this is what you do with him as a host. All right.
Yeah. You're a dead human. Who cares?
Exactly. Jackie agrees. Love will save us all. Oh, he was trying to say something nice before he died, and that's all I could come up with. Maybe that's what it was, but man, I don't know. Oh, seen her crush her own pearl. The whole season 4 was pearl removal, was immediate shutdown, except this time. Yeah, exactly. Again, we were talking about that earlier. Like, I just don't understand how she was able to do that. But convenient plot convenience. That's what that is. I'm convinced episode 7 and 8 had different writers, producers, etc. Yeah, they did seem to be on way different timelines for the whole thing. So absolutely, it could be. Because yeah, I like 7, 8 did not top it off for me. But when in the Tower, Dolores was the author of everyone's stories. Like, now that she's been uploaded into the Sublime, will she have control over everybody theirs narratives, like all the hosts that are in theirs narratives? Because that's not going to make some of them happy. They're supposed to be able to be in there creating their own paradise. So what's that going to be like, John?
I don't know. DJ, that's like you coming onto my streams where I'm chilling, talking about, like, to give an example, yeah? I'm chilling, talking about House of the Dragons. I have low standards. And that shit is smashing it out of the park because I have low standards. And then you coming in saying, what do you think about this person's feelings about this when it's poorly wrote? I'm like, no, man, nobody fucking cares. It's all about, I'm watching WestWorld and it's like, nobody cares. You killed Maeve. Yeah, you killed Maeve. You killed Maeve. You killed Caleb. Whereas nobody cares. Like, there's no real human left. You killed Caleb. There's no human left. Like, what is my investment in this? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it means fuck all, but it's kind of like watching season 7 of Game of Thrones, where it's like we had dragons fighting dragons, and it's kind of like you're watching a slow death. So that's my opinion about that. Shy. Maeve. There's so much to do with Maeve, and they fucked it up. They fucked it up, in my opinion. So yeah, it's a slow death. So my opinion about WestWorld season 5 is a slow death.
What do you think? What do you think about that, AK? What do you think about sending Dolores back into the Sublime, like her being able to recreate?
Hold up. Sorry to interrupt, but I really have to go.
Oh man, yeah. Sorry about that, fandom. We'll definitely talk to you tomorrow for She-Hulk. Can't wait to see you.
Yeah. But for me, it's like, I am weird about this because if she's still able to control the Sublime, it's like, that's kind of like effed up because everyone is in their own Edens and she can pretty much like stop anything and just make it her own. Like, you're destroying the whole free will thing, which has pretty much been like the whole thing throughout entire of WestWorld. So if season 5 happens and she's in control, because even when Charlotte Dolores like put her pearl in, it said storyteller. So it's like, what story is she gonna truly tell?
And that's just it. Which way is she gonna take it? And that's why she says it's a dangerous game because
this cunt loves Cersei Lannister, man, who tries to control the whole fucking Game of Thrones, man. Fuck off.
I'm about to get out of here.
Be safe, fandom. Yeah. Have a good night at work, bro.
Later.
Be safe,
Baratheons, man. I had like 2 zeros.
Go.
Oh man, yeah. I don't think she's going back in time. I think it's all. I think it's all in the future. I don't think she's going back. I think the only thing she's going back to is the same reloop she's been on this entire time, and she's going for one more trip around the bend, and that's what she's talking about. But yeah, I don't think she's going back. I think it's in the future. But poor Teddy, he's like, wait, I'm not even actually real. Like, come find me. Like, I want to be out here living too. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah. He looked sick about that. Teddy pretty much said, fuck the humans. They're irredeemable. But Dolores seems to want to give him one more chance. A test playing a game of her making. Like, what's the game going to be, do you think, John? Like, she said it will be dangerous.
right? How I seen that was I found that very interesting. Is it's kind of like the gods, yeah. You know how people believe in the Greek gods, yeah. You know, it's in like you have Ares and so and so. It's I believe that it's kind of like, and same with Game of Thrones. I have this belief that when you have the drone god, you have all these gods, where it's like when you come to this level, it's like you just want to play the humans off like pawns, and like it's like betting, it's like gambling. Whereas like Dolores is kind of gambling on this human, and it's just kind of interesting because they have fuck all else to do. They're at that level that's so higher than we will ever conceive, and it's like let's just bet on these motherfuckers. You know, I mean, who will be the force to do this? Who will be the force to do that? And so that's where I stand on it. And I think I would like that angle if they did that. Obviously, because that's the angle I believe in Game of Thrones. But I think it'd be interesting and understandable, because what happens when you're human, you're AI, you're this, and then you're that, and then you're above everything. Where it's like what's entertaining to you? It's like how about what's entertaining to me if I'm at that level would be other people at that level, and then just competing with them, like gambling, more or less. Gambling, like I choose this champion. Well, I choose this champion. And I think that's what Dolores is about, like going stubbornness to be like, well, Teddy, you choose that person and I choose that person. And same with Game of Thrones, Drown God, Red God. It's like they're all bored. It's gods that are bored in counting Dolores and Teddy in this pantheon of this show, whereas it's just gods that are bored, and they're picking us lower species to be like, I think like this person will do that. That's where I stand on it, and I think that's cool. And it's fucked up because I'm on that standard. I was like, but I think it's cool. I'm like, that's kind of a cool outlook where I can understand.
That blow dryer calling us irredeemable after the genocide. Exactly.
I'm going for a pitch, for fuck's sake.
Okay. Remember what you did, Teddy, you
Let's go
bastard?
for a pitch, fuck's sake.
Oh, absolutely, AK. All we know is that the loops are programmed. You know it. Oh, but keeping it moving, it's like Teddy pretty much. Again, was getting huge. I was getting the huge Sweetwater vibes when Dolores came back out walking through those dead bodies. Like I couldn't stop thinking of that. Like again, just going on the same loop, doing the same thing, just in a different setting. And she said sooner or later humans will die off. Do you think that happened, AK? She even said that like sentient life on this planet is dead. Is that true, or like I said earlier, it's just in the park that's all she knows about?
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. That's why I question what the timeline is that we're looking at. Is it a dual timeline or even a triple timeline? It's hard to say. It seems like it's supposed to be in the same era where Dolores is waking up and Charlotte Hale, she's going through and doing all her nonsense with the clone of Caleb. It's just it's not fitting right. These puzzle pieces don't always mix and match like they should. Yeah, it's another reason I want a season 5 to wrap up, because there's a lot of unanswered questions and we can't even speculate that much on any of them, because this could just all be an elaborate simulation. So I don't know.
Absolutely, that's what I think it is. Why did Hale self-destruct? Like she wanted to transcend. Why didn't she just do that? Like is she still just afraid of being alone, or why did she go out there and crush her own pearl? Why didn't she just go transcend into that new body?
I think she was just tired at that point. Just like Bernard a little bit. She didn't want to have to keep going through the whole thing and seeing what was becoming of the world she created that was supposed to be complete bliss and greatness for the host is now turning topsy-turvy upside down at so many different intervals now that there's more people that killed and more hosts that took themselves out in 2 weeks than throughout the whole longevity of the program. That was never her goal, so she's kind of scrambling to try to find a solution for that. And once Bernard, he basically breaks it down for her the most logical way he can, and then take into account how she reacted with Caleb, when he said, no, your people are just trying to get away from you. I think that's what helped her change her mind. So, yeah, she's going to take herself out of the equation so she doesn't corrupt anything else. And then, in her eyes, her folk can be free. So, it's a slight redemption, but it's still timey-wimey nonsense.
It's kind of like their imagination realm says, like, she was defective and she felt she was the problem. So like Bernard said, like, this isn't your world, but it's the one you created. Yeah. So maybe it's time for you to step over and let Dolores try again in the next one. So I like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Her turn was over. I agree 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Elaborate simulation from the beginning of the park, opening in order to save humanity. Yeah, absolutely. It could be what it is. Why did I just don't, what's that?
No, just it could be.
I just don't see why she didn't try again in her own simulation. Like, if she wanted to transcend, go to that next level and do what you want to do. It's like, why do you have to die off in this world and kill yourself? That was kind of maybe like you said, Bernard's words, she took them to heart. Dolores says, one more loop around the bend. Maybe this time we'll set ourselves free. Is that just showing that they're all just robots repeating loops like I keep saying?
I think they can all be robots repeating loops, but still be in, I guess whatever their version of the real world is. And no, actually, that would be the cities, because that's why she chose to, that's one of the reasons she chose to take out the cities. That message that she sent out, it was, that this may come as a shock to you, but, these beings are now defective in their cities, so you have one more day to enjoy everything that you interact with here.
It sounds like the dangerous game is going to be Sweetwater, just like it always has been a dangerous game inside of WestWorld. Like, maybe this time we'll set ourselves free. He's just telling us that the hosts don't know anything different but to stay on their loops and not to leave the park. Like, of course, that's me saying that this whole thing happened in the park and kind of justifying it and showing what they're showing, but that's something else.
It's also again, like William said, only the cockroaches survive. That group of humans that's in the desert that knew to get away from all of the nonsense. They're the cockroaches that'll survive.
The cockroaches,
yeah.
Yep. I like that.
I think there's some more of those, and there's also probably some hosts that are going to be able to figure it out and also transcend and move forward.
I guess
cohabitate.
The small part of humans that may get to survive in them is in Dolores's mind, like what she remembers of them, or was she referring to something else, do you think?
See, that's probably the one thing that really confused me, is her saying that human life is all completely gone. So if that's the case, then what time frame was Frankie on? Because all of those events seem to run concurrently with the Man in Black killing, his human body, or his human mind loaded up into that body, and then taking out like that main server that would mess with Hale and all of her machines. It seemed like those two things were happening at the same time, because Caleb was in that well, I don't know if it's simulation, but he was in that interrogation room while the things were happening with Frankie in the real world. So what would be the time difference between those places?
I think when they faded out to black, I think that was like a huge time jump. I think she was talking about it, and then she came back and she's like, okay, I'm going to start this over again. It's going to be a dangerous game. And I think the very small part of this world that was kept was what was in Dolores's mind. It's just what she could remember. Because remember, a couple of seasons back, she went into that library that Delos had and basically read up on every human that had ever
downloaded everything.
Yeah. So she downloaded everything. She remembered everything. She knows everything about everybody. And I think that's the very small part of this world that's going to get to live on, is what she knows about it and what she can recreate through her own memory. So that was kind of deep and crazy. But.
See, I mean, kind of, but that also doesn't track completely. Because there's too many variables to pull into account there. So I don't know. I'd have to see the exact timeline of what it was. Hopefully we get an explanation in 5.
Exactly. And that's why the only way to get all those points of all the different things is basically being inside a computer, being able to compute it all. And that's what it's happening. It's either all happening inside the blue-eyed giant, and this is all going down in the
Macumba.
Fucking Macumba.
or this is all happening in just a regular computer simulation. Absolutely. So there's going to be one more season. I believe it is confirmed, and I don't know. Where do you think they're going to take the story from here, John?
What's going to happen is everybody's going to die and they're going to be rebooted. It's kind of like a video game. Where it's like, you know when you die in a video game, you know when you really start your journey and you get killed. Yeah, you respawn. That's the perfect word. You respawn. So it's non-consequential. That's my biggest problem with WestWorld. The Man in Black, Clementine, Maeve, where it's like you could have making this shit like consequent. Like it's kind of like with Marvel. It's not just fucking these motherfuckers in WestWorld. It's like with Marvel, where it's like, oh, we'll just take them from another universe. And we plop them. Oh, you killed Captain America. We can't kill Captain America. No. But we're going to take this Captain America and put them in here. And it feels like WestWorld has kind of done that. You know, remember Logan's speech in season 2 of WestWorld? That's when I kind of was like, oh, like I don't think there's consequences here. And that was it. Yeah, like by the end of WestWorld season 2, I was in love with Maeve's storyline, like artificial or not, how she was with her child, and then kind of like reconnecting with her memories. And she's like, for me, it was Maeve versus like Dolores, and for me, I think they dropped the ball. I think that's what it should have been, and the whole way, you know, Jon Snow, the Night King, Maeve, Dolores, and yeah, like I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna be excited. I think that's me. That's the most honest answer you will get from me. It's like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying Maeve will be brought back. That's cool. But I think Maeve's story arc deserves far more than what I got, even now, even if they bring her back.
I like that. I thought the lag was gone by then. There was multiple timelines, but then we caught up. Could be. Like I said, I mean, the very end thing is just basically Dolores in her little sublime or in her new little loop, like trying to figure out, like, can I coexist like this? But is that really living? Like, that's just a computer simulation. So
yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. He said, Pete Easy said, after all this, I want to go back and rewatch it. See, be able to look at it with different eyes, like from a different perspective and see what's really going on. Like, oh, I didn't look at it like that. And then see it unfold in that way. And you're like, oh, shit. Absolutely. Who got blocked? He said, why am I getting blocked? I didn't see that.
Yeah, why am I blocking you, Imagination Realm? This ain't Tetris. The fuck, I ain't blocking shit. I don't know. Is it comments or something? I don't know. No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't block. Yeah, before DJ Momo takes my blue shit away, I didn't block any. Me and Realmy are homies, man. I was like, I didn't. The only way I blocked you was in Tetris playing chess. Because any opinion that you said that this grade about me, then I'm still blocked the fuck out. What are you talking about?
Yep, I think season 5 they're just going to come in, and I just want to know what the dangerous part of it is. Like, why does she say it's such a dangerous game that she's going to be playing? Like, that doesn't. Oh wow, but yeah, I didn't. I just wonder what that is, and like, is it just her trying to recreate everything from her memory and basically giving her the power of a god, letting her do everything, and that's what's so dangerous, letting her have that much power? Or I don't know. I can't wait to see it and what answers they're going to give us in this next season and how they're going to wrap it up, because they still got some questions to answer. But speaking of answer, we're going to wrap this one up with just a couple trivia questions, seeing what you remember out of this last episode. If you know these answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, write them in the comments down below. It's like, do we know what Johnny Cash song was the MIB listening to while driving the pickup truck?
You know, something about the world ending.
Anybody remember what the Man in Black was
I don't
singing?
remember the exact name.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go basic. AK, you have to cover me on these questions, so it sounds like you're kind of answering it because I'm clueless. Yeah, so I fell into a certain digital fire, going down the stories weren't shy.
Oh, he brought it home. That's it. That is Ring of Fire. Absolutely.
Oh, did I get a point? Oh, sorry, Baratheon brothers. Yeah, Baratheon. I got the wolf on the chest, Baratheon.
1 point for Imagination Realm. Absolutely correct.
Wait, what do you mean Imagination Realm, man? I'm swinging the bat. What are you doing to me?
I said 1 point for John and Ghost, 1 point for Imagination Realm. You both got it.
Say my name first, man. I have an ego.
I did say it first. You were just too busy singing. You didn't hear it.
I'm gonna have to rewatch this stream.
Oh, starting out the right way. How did Frankie's mom die?
Cancer.
Absolutely correct. Cancer.
She
What
fell
song-
into a burning ring of fire.
What
No,
song did
technically-
Caleb use to sing Frankie before bed? What song did Caleb use to sing to Frankie before bed?
Oh, damn it.
Swing low,
I know-
swing
Oh,
chariot. Come for
Yeah, no,
carry
no.
me home.
What's up?
Oh, did
everybody?
Imagination Realm say that? No, yeah. Well, neither did I. Fuck
No,
you.
like, I'm picturing the scene. Yeah, she said it's something that he would sing all to her all through her childhood.
What a great question. I thought,
I
oh, this is going to be
remember.
way too easy, but then I'm like, oh, maybe not.
I
I
didn't
got
write
it here. I
shit
got
down.
it, brother. It's alright, okay. I got it. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird.
Yeah, that is
No, yeah, no. That's
I'm
not
gonna fuck you.
Stop it.
Fuck you and your
Stop it
question.
right now. Moving on. Next question.
Oh, like I said, the worst singing duet of karaoke of all time when they were singing it.
Oh, you fucking said the names. I can't remember them.
I did. It's also the name of this episode.
I Kanye West and the Kardashians.
That's why I thought it was going to be so easy.
So-
Oh,
It's happened, AK. Don't Google
Is
it,
it
man. It
not-
happened. It did
No,
happen.
it's not. It's not. This is the end. Something to do with an ending. I
oh,
forget.
all right. Try to bring it back to an easier one. Who killed Stubbs?
Clementine.
A robot.
Both correct.
Yeah, Que Sera. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a point for that.
The name of this episode, Que Sera Sera. Absolutely. The
Yeah.
name of this episode. That was the song. Oh, for extra credit, what was Clementine's last name?
Oh, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, bringing it back. Who remembers what Clementine's last name is?
And I can't do like Kyle did and Google it because my arms are up over my head. Shit.
Speaking of callbacks, deep cuts.
Mhm.
I have no chance of answering.
Hella deep cut.
Clementine Maximine.
Okay, Sarah, Sarah. Yep, Clem, absolutely correct. And what's that? Anybody remember Clementine's last name before they Google it? Anybody can
Yeah,
remember
I just called you.
Pennyweather? Is it Pennyweather?
I know, yeah, wait, Clementine Maximine, yeah, we have Maximine and Pennyweather, yeah.
That's close. I'll give you that is very close.
Who's close? Wait, who? Me?
Pete Easy.
Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck
Yeah, I
you,
don't
man.
know.
It's actually Penny
Oh,
Feather. Very close. We're gonna go ahead and give that one close enough.
Oh, you would give that
Good on
day.
you.
Yeah, I would give
Good
that. I
on
would
you,
give
Pete.
that.
Good
Yeah,
on
Yeah,
you.
well
you
done.
have to work. You Google the shit out of that, you cheating prick. He's from Atlanta, man. They're
You
known
wouldn't
for
Google the
cheating, man.
wrong
Fuck
answer.
them.
Come on, give him more credit than that.
All right, stop it. Stop
Oh.
No, I speak to him on a daily basis.
it.
Fuck him, man.
Cabron.
Oh, imagination.
Oh,
Penny
of
Feather,
course,
bringing it back
boy.
just a bit later. Yep, Penny
The
Feather.
same. Fuck
absolutely.
him, man. I know who beat, man. He's a cheating cunt.
Last but not least, what did Teddy say Dolores was to him? What did Teddy call
His
Dolores?
anchor.
Piece of shit.
In
Was
a
that
way.
His anchor, like his rock, or something like that.
Yep, there's a specific word for it, but you're on the right track.
Hole.
Home.
No. Take away the M.
What did Teddy call Dolores? What did she say Dolores was for him? Anybody out there remember that one?
I think in episode 1 you even said it to her, man. Wait. Don't
No,
kick me out. And DJ,
the-
I'm not
the
looking at the
chat-
chat. Look, DJ,
chat
so I'm
have
not
it.
cheating. I'm looking away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get this naturally.
His heart, his home.
That's bullshit. You're throwing out names. What are you locking in on, AK? What are you locking in on? Lock in on the word, yeah.
Because this isn't Citadel of Trivia, we're allowed to give multiple answers.
No, that is.
Shut up.
AK, this is family shit with me and you. This is I'm looking away. I'm looking at my wall, and my wall is not entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say, yeah.
Jackie
Teddy-
said his conscience.
Nope.
No, yeah, using other people, yeah. But yeah, right. I would say Teddy would call like Dolores his land. You know, I'll go with his land, and now I can look back at the screen. 'Cause that's weird. His land, his land.
Did he pull a Toretto, like his family?
Nope. You were getting closer, and now you're getting farther and farther away. You were close in the
His
first couple.
family, his love, his heart.
You want to stop believing in the chat, AK,
What?
man.
His
As lovable
shit.
as they are, they'll fuck you up.
No, No, I mean I said those things separately also. But what, like his true north, or I don't
Yep,
know.
there's a word for that. And that's what he called her. He said, "You are my, no,
My sun and my moon.
you're my
That's like
son of my
bullshit.
moon."
That
Oh
bullshit.
no, not
My
life.
sun and stars.
I'm done. Yeah, I lost this, man. I lost this. So I'm just
Like a
commentating.
rock, I'll get. You are getting close with that one, but yeah, that's not it. Compass, North Star. Oh, it's one of those words or the same meaning as all those words, but
But
North,
yeah, P, I'm so
North,
surprised
is
you
it
could
North
spell
Pole?
compass, you prick.
what's that?
North Pole.
You're my North Pole.
You said. I mean, you said that was
Damn, man.
close after Jackie said North Star. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, Teddy has no problem with going to the GP if he's called the North Pole, man. Jesus.
That's awesome.
Now,
The North Pole.
I told you I
Like,
didn't take notes.
What's he
So
called?
I don't know.
Is he the cloud to her chlamydia or something? Like, I don't fucking know.
Why would those two things even go together in a sentence?
Well, it did. It
Oh,
did, and it happened. Did
Nice.
Jackie
like
said
he's
his
the
guy-
cloud? He like
Jack-
that, like the GP. Like he's the cloud. He's stopping
Jackie
her getting
said his
chlamydia.
guiding light.
Oh, direction, guiding light. That is all incorrect. I can't even say
Jackie, that's corny as shit,
Okay,
and
yeah,
I
I
love
got
it.
nothing.
never Letty. That's amazing.
Can I try? Right? Can I try again? Being real, yeah.
You
It's
bet.
right. What I believe that Teddy. Now that we have all these answers on the plate, I believe, and I've not Googled it yet. Shout out to Kyle. I don't do that shit. It's I believe, yeah, that Teddy told Dolores that you are my North Star because nobody said that shit.
Incorrect.
Fuck you then. Fuck Teddy. Fuck Dolores. Fucking bullshit.
Jackie said it. So
What's
shut up.
that? Oh, Anchor Star,
No,
North
that
Star.
said
No,
North
those-
Star. Yeah.
nothing to do with any stars.
Did Jackie say Northern Star, man? Jackie, you
Yeah, she
fucking
did.
fuck.
Somebody did answer that earlier.
Oh,
so
you
yeah.
did? Yeah, but I didn't see
did.
that, Jackie. No, Jackie, you're making. I didn't see that. Yeah, Jackie,
Yeah,
what the
that's
fuck,
your
man?
fault.
Something that wakes you up
Stop
and centers
thinking
you.
like
Yes, that is that's a kind of what it was, but that's not what he called it.
Hey, Dolores, you're my Aurora
His co-
Borealis.
What is it? His
Aurora
co-
Borealis. How about that?
Oh, get to leave it on one where they just couldn't answer it. I
No
love
clue.
it. Dude, that one
I have
hanging
no
up
idea.
there. Fantastic.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I
Jackie,
can't have it all.
you fucked me up there.
Oh, but this one's over 2 hours. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us
That
for
was
so
cool.
long. It's been an absolute blast and an absolute ride. I want to thank my guests that came down with us, and a very special thank you to our special guests that came up with us tonight. Our man, Just John in the house. It took to the
Indeed.
finale, but better late than never. So glad to have you back on, brother. It's been way too long.
No, my love. I've no shit up for that. Just all I offer is that. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Just
really
know that
hard.
this is just a
That's
taste. Oh, wait a minute. You said so. You're not going to say the answer. Should I give the answer?
No. Give the
He
answer. I don't know
never-
the answer.
I never give
never
the
says
answer.
the answers. No, you gotta look it up, and then if you got to know the guest, put it in the comments.
We just leave them hanging out there. But since it is the finale, I don't know. Maybe I could give this one answer. This one.
No. Sorry, I'm with AK on this.
Hanging.
No.
Leave it hanging out there. I said you're not going to give us the answer after all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what? No. Okay, so for like across the board, we've all said this was a lackluster ending for us. So go and give one bit of closure.
one bit of
DJ.
closure. The final
One
answer.
bit of closure.
He said, "You are my cornerstone." Called her his
Okay.
cornerstone. So it was all the meanings you guys are giving.
Like-
I just put the exact words.
It's
Just
not like a
different
side
wording,
piece,
yeah.
though, man.
What's that?
Like
No.
I would never call a chick I love it my cornerstone. That's like
cornerstone-
not even a corner. Not even a corner. It's a cornerstone.
No, listen. Okay, but cornerstones are usually weight bearing when it comes to structures. So that means
Yeah.
that's a big
They're the
deal.
most important piece.
Yeah, but a
You're the most
quarterstone,
important and
AK, a
strongest piece.
quarterstone, a quarterstone. That's a quarter of a corner. Man.
Oh,
No, it's
shit.
what-
I
you
would,
talking
I
about
would,
quarter of a
I would
corner?
not even introduce that bitch to my parents, man. That's a quarterstone.
Oh, the cornerstone.
Nobody
That's
said
where they
anything
had
about a
the-
quarter but you.
That's where the Illuminati.
I'm
hides
from
all the
Ireland, man.
stuff.
I don't work in quarters. You know what I mean? I work in euros. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? We have quarters, halves, and
Two
fillers.
completely
Oh,
different
man. Absolutely.
things.
We're going to let that one wrap it up. Like I said, this is just a little taste. We're going to be having our man Just John on back. We're going to get him back on some other shows and get him back going because we just absolutely love having him on.
Wait, DJ, while I'm here.
Better late than never. Thanks for stopping in. What's up, John?
Right.
House of the Dragons pre-season, halfway season. I'm here. I'm here with you all.
Absolutely. We're going to get talking about it, and more than that even. We want to get you on as many shows as we can because we love it when our brother is hanging out with us. Keep it all in the fam. Keep the fam together. Keep us close. Keep us tight. Keep it all
fuck Damon. Fuck yeah, fuck Damon. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to Luke.
Making their way out here. I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. And until we see you tomorrow night on She-Hulk, y'all be easy.
Peace.